Cute song. Cute song. Is it new?
So nice.
Turn yourself off, Jaby
Like I'm in a
Koay.
Scorsese film now or something.
Yeah, you know it, dude.
Yeah, you know.
You know it.
At all. I'm feeling that.
Let me turn your volume up. All right, cool. So I have, just so y'all know, in the chats, I have the comments here from our video for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 2. And then if y'all are feeling mighty kind, there's the super chat window. So we'll read your super chats.
Gotta do the YouTube thing, you know.
Sound like a preacher. Jesus loves you.
Jesus.
Where's this?
Hey,
What's up, everyone?
are y'all like Little Nas X fans?
Hold on.
Y'all ever
Hold on.
Who?
Your window's frozen for some odd reason.
Little Nas X?
No,
You
sorry.
know the rapper turned country singer turned.
Hopefully that works. Please just don't crash again. Are we back? I think we're back.
Are we back?
Yeah. Wow, we're at the top. Way to kick this thing off. Some bullshit. Just keep an eye on that and make sure some
Hey
forward
man,
motion.
it's like Broadway. You just don't know what's gonna happen. That's the excitement of these live streams.
Yes. Exactly.
That's what you're paying for.
As Dr. Drake Ramore says, okay, this is a pop quiz for you,
All right.
Le Jaby. OBS ne hugdia.
It's bullshit. It's fucked.
Yes, that's
fucked.
oh wow. So early in the chat, drop in the F bombs.
All right. So let me just make sure. 'Cause you're not.
Soham Ba Leral says, I love Lil Nas X song Old Town Road.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something to tie into that. Oh yeah. We was having fun with like the little Jesus comments and stuff like that. So
Right.
this dude, Lil Nas X, you know, he's kind of risque, right?
Uh-huh.
He just dropped a brand new video like a couple days ago, and it's him like in the Garden of Eden, and he's been damned and stuff, and he goes down to Satan. He's like seducing him. Satan's a dude, so it's a little, you know, if you're not comfortable in that space, you know, with man
Right.
on man kind of love kind of thing, it's jarring, right?
Mhm.
So I'm watching it, but the video is hot. So I'm looking in the comments, and they're like, yeah, and he just released like these new shoes, right? So I was looking, and there are like Air Max Satan shoes with the little pentagram on it and everything.
What?
So I was like, yo, you gonna get them Satan ones? You know, I'm just saying, you know, it's the new hotness. No. I'm gonna have
No.
to send y'all a link. I might actually send the link to the chat too.
All
So
right.
it was just
What?
random. It was just random. We was just talking about, you know, Jesus and giving. So I wanted to talk about Little Nas and his Satan shoes.
Satan shoes. I don't
Satan
know.
shoes. They're hot though, like literally and figuratively hot. I just thought it was interesting.
I don't know about
I'm a
that.
Little Nas.
I'm not comfortable with. It's so funny. It's like I would wear a cross, but as soon as it's a pentagram, I'm all like, I don't know
Yeah,
about
right.
that. I
feel
don't know.
that. I totally feel you on that. It's like, oh, that's a step too far. That's like I don't really feel comfortable. I'm not even a super religious person. It's just something about that. It's just like, ooh, I can't wear the Dark Lord on my chest like that.
Yeah.
Even if the shoes are hot. You know, all right. So,
Well, we have a question here flying in from Sorav Underkar. So he says, "Hey Jaby, which episode do you think was better, episode 1 or episode 2?"
I personally like episode 1 better. I like the intro episode better. But you know, before I give my thoughts on it, I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about it, man? Because like I did a video talking about my feelings, and so I wanted to give you a chance to get your thoughts out because obviously it might have a different meaning for you than it might for someone who's half white, half Asian.
who the hell is you? Is me?
Yeah,
I'm-
yeah,
I'm
you.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
you.
Boy, you know I got a name.
Just so you know, your audio is cracking from time to time.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me back my mic up. There we go.
I don't know
You know,
why it is. I think it might be a cable thing or something.
I'm
I don't
just.
Or you just
You're just loud.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I know we're over here doing mic checks. One moment.
you know, every now and then when you get really loud, it goes crack, 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 crack. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, okay, while we're waiting, I'm
Yeah.
just going to say hello to Cuckoo Chiku.
Oh.
Meow
nice.
meow.
Check. 1, 2. We still cracking.
Yeah, I hear you.
Akash Janasakar says, "Dang, I haven't seen episode 2 yet, so I'm going to bounce and watch it now. Maybe see y'all later. Have a great stream, guys. Big boy Syntell the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's up? I feel kind of the way about Winter Soldier as I did with WandaVision. Everybody lost their mind over WandaVision episode 1, and I was one of the few people that was like, I'm just not really feeling it. You know, I didn't hate it. I just wasn't blown away. You know, I didn't see the brilliance behind it all. And then episode 2 came around, and it was kind of like the same shtick to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it enough to be like, oh, I'm never watching this again. I kind of feel this way about the Winter Soldier. The first episode was good. I did enjoy it, but I wasn't blown away by it. And then the second one was like a step below, if that even makes sense. I wasn't necessarily say it was better than the first one. I feel like we're kind of like going through the motions. The things that I care about in this show, they don't seem to be spending a lot of time on, and that is, you know, Bucky and Falcon. It's a bunch of side things that I know have relevance, but I just don't care because I haven't learned enough about the people I want to know about first before I can stray off and learn about other things. Like, let me get to know these two people first.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we can kind of like build on some other stuff. Like in the first episode, like they had this whole big thing about like the boat. I don't give a fuck about that boat. I care about, you know, Falcon and what he's going to do. And I want to see him fight and do, you know, fight justice and all this other stuff. The relationship with him and his sister is just not that important to me. But there are things that I do really love. And that was the very first fight scene in the first episode. That was pretty good. There was kind of like a half promise that was given before the series came out, and they said that the series is only going to be 6 episodes, but the production quality of each episode is going to be epic enough that you're not going to miss like a full 10 episode season. So that kind of didn't really hit for me. It did in the first like 15 minutes of the first episode and a little bit in the fight sequences in the second one, but not overall.
So it sounds to me like you don't give a shit about the IRL socioeconomic political conversation that's being introduced into the show. You care more about the action and just sticking with what we've been seeing in the movies more so than some of the like racial conversation that the show's bringing up.
Well, no, I think those conversations are important. I do, but I think I need to know and understand who the character is first. Let me know who this person is so I can care deeply about this person so that when these situations come up, I can connect, like have that quick connection. I barely even know who Bucky and Falcon are in terms of this show's growth, right? I'm just automatically jumping into these socio-political issues.
Yeah.
And there is a space for it, but I just need more from them first. Like I wish these first 2 episodes like really put me in the driver's seat with those 2 individuals first. And then we can bring all this other stuff in the manner that they're bringing it in. I mean, I know it's important that we have to address the Black Captain America in the room, or not Captain America, the Black Super Soldier. I know I'm probably jumping ahead regarding the
right. No, it's all good.
Path. But and also the importance of his relationship with his sister and stuff. But until I know like really who the Falcon is, it's like putting the cart before the horse.
It's interesting that you feel that way because I felt like the complete opposite with the introduction of his sister, the boat, and
Can you increase Syntell's volume?
Oh,
okay,
I can
like
do that too.
in the middle of me expressing my
Sorry.
opinion, then you.
There we go.
Okay.
My bad. Is that a little better?
No, it's all good. So yeah, for me, like I enjoyed all that stuff with the sister. I like the dynamic between them. I felt like I got to know them right away, and that's a byproduct of Anthony Mackie being such a likable dude. Like as soon as he's on screen, like I feel like I know the guy. Whatever character he's playing, whether it's this or Black Mirror, he just has a very relatable presence about him. I'm not sure what it is, but it works. It works for him. It works for the character. And so with the sister, I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. I see where she's coming from, where he's coming from, and the introduction of the socioeconomic talk with regards to the bank. I was like, oh my gosh, like they're bringing in some real shit here. This is pretty cool.
Right.
And it's interesting, not just from a minority perspective, but also from the character's perspective of what he's dealing with. It's like, this dude's a superhero. And he's got to deal with this shit. This is the kind of stuff you would generally only see in a comic book. And they're showing it here in a TV show. I thought that was kind of cool. I like the Winter Soldier stuff. It's like he doesn't even know himself, you know?
Right.
And so we're learning him with him. I thought that was kind of cool. And so episode 2, I was just a little bit underwhelmed. I mean, you heard my opinion. I was a little bit underwhelmed by the action because I was like, the first one's action was dope to me. I liked all that helicopter stuff. I'm like, that's a great setup. And so the formula seems to be hard action near the top, and then a lot of drama through the rest of the episode, which I'm fine with.
Okay.
I'm actually fine with that. It's just that action needs to be at a 10. Because out of the 30, 40 minutes of the show, I'm getting maybe 3 minutes of action. It needs to be at a 10. And for me, it just wasn't. It was like, it was cool. It was serviceable if there's more action in that episode, but there wasn't. And the part that people like really held my feet to the flames over was the fact that I said, you see, I'm getting the what do you call it? Fan eligibility police coming at me in the comments. And so
I'm revoking your Marvel fan card.
Yeah, like I'm just not a Marvel fan, you know. And so the thing that I commented on was when he's about to see Black Captain America.
Okay.
He comes across this kid who goes, "Oh, Black Falcon." And he goes, "I'm not Black Falcon. Should I call you Black Kid?" And I was like, that's cute. I just wish for me that was earlier in the episode because it's like right after that we encounter the Tuskegee Experiment, Black Captain America. And then after
That's an interesting way to put it. All right, let's go. I'm with you, though.
And then right after that, well, I didn't come up with that. Someone said that in the comments. I'm like, oh, that's what that is. Okay, because you taught me about the Tuskegee Experiment.
Right.
And so that's where Black Captain America comes from.
I don't even know what the Tuskegee Experiment is.
We'll get into it in a hot second.
Yeah.
We'll get into a hot second. And then the cops show up, and I'm like, I see where this is going immediately. For some reason, Black Captain America and the cop thing back to back made sense to me. The kid thing with calling him Black Falcon, I'm like, I'm fine with it. It's just so close in proximity to these other two things that it feels like I'm being preached at now, as opposed to being absorbed into the show, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm fine with it. I like all of it. I just wanted it a little bit more spread out. And so in the comments, people were like, oh, he can't handle, you know, imagine what it's like to deal with that in real life all the time. I'm like, God damn. Like, I just set off a fire. I didn't mean to. All I'm saying is, as a show, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it just came off as insensitive when I'm just trying to convey an opinion from a storytelling perspective.
Okay. Well, I mean, they kind of beat you over the head with it in episode 1. So by the time episode 2 came around, I was like, well, this is just what this is going to be.
Gotcha.
You know, they got this issue, and they're going to talk about. We're going to talk about race relations through the eyes of Falcon. It's just all it just all comes at you really fast. Like as soon as he steps foot in Baltimore, I didn't read too deep into the whole Black Falcon thing. It was a bit of a haha moment. I mean, I don't know if it was more of a teachable moment as much as it was entertainment. I don't think it like stuck the landing on either of those marks. It was middle of the road on both.
I mean, I thought it was pretty funny, but I mean, I think what people were kind of saying is it was like a very meta moment.
Yeah, it was meta.
Where they're calling out the whole like, oh, why do all the black superheroes have to have black in front of their name?
Yeah, like Black Lightning.
Yeah,
and, you know,
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Can I say objectively about that real quick? Like, I know that it doesn't affect me because I'm not black, but I love the way it sounds. It sounds cool. Like when you say Black Lightning, it's got a sound to it. If you know, it's like, or Black Panther, Black Dynamite. It's,
I mean,
you know,
you also have to keep in mind of the context when a lot of these characters were created, and they're created like in the 60s,
right?
You know, 50s and 60s, and you know, you're in the peak of blaxploitation films, and Stan Lee is trying his damnedest to, you know, create characters from a standpoint that he knows nothing of completely. So he's speaking from a context of what he knows. And now you've got that content here in 2020, you know, and people are sticking to the original script. So it's an interesting thing to talk about. No, you don't have to have black in front of the character's name of every black character. That's ridiculous now, but in the 1960s, that's par for the course, you know?
Yeah.
So to address it and then have that tongue-in-cheek moment, I get it. It just wasn't that funny to me. It was a ha-ha moment. It was like one of those, okay, yeah, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a super teachable moment because you can't really express the depths of what that means within, you know, a 10-second bit.
Right.
You know, so it just didn't stick the landing on either. But it was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, if they had it in or if they didn't have it in, it didn't really matter. What did stick to me was realizing that the Super Soldier program was going on. And while one member was able to have their moment in the sun and represent America, another one was being experimented on. Now that, to me, was pivotal. That was big.
That was dope
to me.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah.
No, you can't just throw that away. Now and then they kind of like transitioned right into the police coming in, and they're like, "Oh, you know, who are you?" And I didn't recognize you without the thing. It was another, kind of goes back to the other thing. It's like, man, you hit something that was really dope, and then it's just a lot. It's just you getting hit like left and right and left, or it's like racial discrimination, and I do believe that does need to be talked about. But I was like, yo, let me catch my breath for a hot second before you call this dude a nigga. You know, it's like it's about you. It's like you can feel it coming. It's like, wow, we about to go right there, and like in the Marvel film on episode 2. I'm happy you're addressing it. I am, but it's just like, wow, I don't know if I initially signed on to get it that hard and fast, that quick. You know, kind of like ease me into the conversation. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion.
Right.
Let me be clear. My opinion does not represent an entire culture of Black people. I want everybody in the chat to recognize that I am not the spokesman of all Blackness. That is not me.
He said it, so that means it's okay for everybody. What?
Hold on.
People are still saying that Syntell's volume is a little bit
low?
Yeah.
Really? Because I can hear him really clearly.
I know.
Go ahead, talk, man.
Okay, there we go. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm having technical issues on my end, I think. I apologize. That is just my opinion.
Yeah. Here's what I'll do. I'll lower.
Sorry, I took over the mic.
It's all good. Let me just lower you on my headset.
I apologize. Yeah, it's this stupid thing.
And then let me.
Still got some adjustments.
It's all good. And then let me bump you over here. Do a test 1 2.
1 2 1 2 1 2 3. There we go.
Audience, let us know if that's any better.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
I do apologize, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just going to catch up on some chats real quick. TK asked, did any of you feel the show's pacing is a bit off, especially for viewers not familiar with the comics?
I feel like it's a little bit wonky, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, even I have a very vague familiarity with the characters, and even still, it's just like, okay, like I know the Marvel purists are going to start bringing out the pitchforks and torches and stuff. Like the fake Captain America and his little sidekick, like, is that a part of the lore, or is that just a part of just this new MCU installment? Like,
I don't know because
I'm sure people in the chat may know.
Yeah.
How's the audio, you guys? Is Syntell's audio better? I just needed to know that so we can move on with the conversation. His voice is cracking, but the volume is good.
Okay, good.
Okay, so every now and then, like the cable on your side or something cracks. That's all it is.
All right, let me do another reset.
Go back to this.
Whoa.
He's just resetting.
Okay, I'm like, what just happened? Sorry, you guys.
You can still hear me on the computer, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me, I can still talk on my computer's mic until I get the big mic set up.
No, it's all good.
I do apologize again, everybody, for that. This is my end. I did a thing, and it's not agreeing with me right now.
It's all good.
Good old technology.
Yeah.
When I just went on that long diatribe and nobody heard it.
Kids, we were watching WandaVision. Men watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. Legends waiting for Loki.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Loki.
from Charavari. Say Chaitanya. So yeah, definitely waiting for Loki. Did
we sufficiently answer that question for TK about the show's pacing?
I think so. It's yeah, it does feel a little weird. I'm waiting for the end of the show before I decide like ultimately how I feel about the pacing. Aditya Sharma, hey guys, loving the show. Good depths of both characters. Also, the action in the show is amazing. I feel like the action in episode 1 was amazing. The action especially for a TV show, episode 2 was okay. It was serviceable. But like, especially when you compare it to like other things Disney Plus has, like Mandalorian, it's like, it's all right. It could have been better. But thank you, Aditya Sharma, for your super chat. Are you good, Syntell?
Yeah.
Vortex T makes an excellent point. He's like, it's funny how John Walker has done nothing wrong and we still hate him already.
You know who that is? That's Kurt Russell's kid.
The fake Captain America?
Yeah, that's Kurt Russell's kid.
Kurt Russell's kid? Yeah, there's something wrong with his chin. You got some weird chin.
Hey, I wasn't going to say, look, I don't want to judge him.
Goobery in episode 1. He looked like a goober. He's all...
Yeah, he really did. But
like, who picked that?
I think that's maybe the point is like, you know, they needed someone who was like Captain America adjacent. You can't have him looking like as good as the Captain America that we know because he's supposed to feel off. So like in terms of casting, I'm like, cool. Because something happened when his face was in the mask. I'm like, why do you
Right.
look funny? But then
It's like, especially in this area,
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then he takes it off, and I'm like, you're okay. You know, you're fine. But like, I still hate you every time you come on the screen.
Is he a comic book character?
that's what I was asking.
I
was
have
like,
no
I know
idea.
I'm about to get taken to task for that, but I'm not as savvy with my Captain America lore as I am with other members in the Marvel universe. So I'm like, is this a piece from an original storyline that I'm missing?
Right.
'Cause even his sidekick is kind of gumpy.
I think it's on purpose, though. How did you feel?
It's got to be.
How did you feel about them not them just bouncing out of the action scene, basically? Because I got shit.
Oh,
I got
like
shit.
when it was done, and they were like, well, we'll just kind of let them get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to notice, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you realize that Falcon is like arguably the fastest thing on the screen.
Yeah, he
Because
could just fly.
all the fan, well, exactly. All the fan eligibility police came at me hard on that one. They're like, no, he can't give chase because his red wing is broken, or they're getting their asses kicked by the super soldiers. I'm like, yeah, but like they can't hop in a car or something and like just follow from a distance. Like,
Yeah, and here's the thing, and the bar on his skill set has been set so high. This is a man who was in a fight with Thanos' army, so I'm sure he can track down a tractor trailer with 4 people on it. I'm not trying to hear that. That's the thing about like the scale on some of this. Like they're bringing the scale down now to what some of these characters can do, and I'm having a bit of a problem with it. Like for you was the give chase thing, right? For me, my problem was like there's these 4 super soldiers serum, 6 super soldiers serum people that they're fighting on this trailer, and it's taking the Winter Soldier, it's taking Falcon, it's taking fake Captain America, it's taking his sidekick for all of them to not even capture not one of them at all, and they get away. But then when they need the distraction for them to walk away, one guy gets like taken out by some dudes with pistols. I was like, the scale is just way off, and he sacrificed so that the other people could get away.
Yeah, that
I seen when he knocks out the thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't get that.
That didn't make sense to me because I'm like, there was so much time when he knocked over the thing. That was enough to stop them. Dude, you're a super soldier. You can run back real fast.
Right? That's
Why
what
did
I'm
you need
saying.
to
I'm
give
like,
up your life? This is stupid. You just didn't want to live anymore.
I'm like, you obviously didn't get some super smarts, because I'm like, there's a way you could have distracted and still gotten away, not getting killed. Like you just walked into a hail of gunfire. I was like, why did this guy get? This was the dude that passed the super serum test. I just didn't understand that at all. So yeah, the scaling of the abilities is a little wonky.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
Niraj Vashish says Battlestar, Bucky for John Walker's Captain America in comics. In comics, both have super soldier capabilities, and John's earlier alias is Super Patriot.
Yes.
Apparently he also auditioned for Captain America. Like the actual actor actually auditioned for Captain America before Chris Evans.
Thank God he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yo, because I promise you that is not America's ass. That ain't America's ass.
Yeah.
He's no. I wouldn't even want him as Bucky.
Well, I interrupted you. What were you saying just now?
Oh no, and people in the chat were also saying it's U.S. agent. That's who he is.
Okay.
U.S. agent.
And
Okay.
what are your thoughts on this is from Sarab Undercar. He says, what are your thoughts on chemistry between Sam and Buck?
It's off to me. Are you asking me, or
I'm generally asking, like, because I personally,
it's a little off.
There are moments where I enjoy it. I just got a little bit confused because tonally it was shifting back and forth, and again, the fan eligibility police were coming at me, going, "No, there's reasons for all that. If you just watch the movies, you'll understand." I'm like, "God damn!" So calm down, everybody.
Right.
But basically, there is a reasonable explanation as to why their interaction is the way it is. It's that
Right.
like 1 minute it's like jokey, and the next minute it's serious, and it goes back to being jokey and then serious, and I'm like, hold on, like what kind of relationship do they have with each other? Because 1 minute it seems like Sam is cool, and the next minute he's like, we don't have to talk to each other ever again. I'm like, what? You all were just cool like 2 seconds ago. I'm so confused, like why you would even say that. So you know what I'm saying? I'm excited for their dynamic because it does seem like there's something there, like a brotherly thing.
Right.
But I will say that the Wizards.
The wizards, androids.
Wizards,
Yeah.
robots. And,
Yeah.
That's
that
it.
joke. That joke was
and
funny in
aliens.
the commercial, but it fell flat for me in the episode. Yeah.
Okay. There's moments where it hits, like it's funny as hell, like when Bucky jumps out of the plane and he crash lands, and dude's like, yo, I had all that on film. That was funny.
Yeah.
You know, like those kind of moments. But then there's others where it just seems a little forced. Their relationship is kind of, I don't think they have a relationship with each other as much as they both share the same best friend. And that's their only real common thread is Steve Rogers. And now he's not there, and they have a respect and they have a responsibility to the mantle that kind of like connects them. And now the mantle isn't even there. So why are we even friends? Why are we even working together? So I'm guessing that's what they're trying to take us through that process, as to figuring the why they're even in the same space anymore.
That makes sense.
When they don't have the mantle and they don't have the man anymore.
Right.
What's the point?
This Rhea Sharma person has like been coming after me for some odd reason. But she's like, she's cool 1 minute. She's like, it's like Bucky and Sam. It's like cool 1 minute, and then she's coming at me hard.
Why? What happened?
Going for the jugular. She's just been leaving some interesting comments.
Well, Saurav Undercars like dropped some backstory and knowledge on us. I just wanted to shout him out.
Yeah.
He said, John Walker is in the comic. He was introduced as the villain of Captain America, but then became U.S. agent in comics, and he was still corrupted. His sidekick is Lamar Hoskins, Battlestar, and both are super soldiers.
Battlestar, that's his name.
Yeah,
okay. And that was gonna be my other thing, because he implied that that they're just normal guys. He said, I don't have super speed, I don't have super all this other power. I'm just a guy that's got courage. So to me, I was like, oh well, he probably doesn't have the super serum. So but maybe that'll be implemented too, because he obviously is not on the same level as Captain America. So he's gonna have to do something to kind of like bridge that gap. So I can absolutely see them injecting him with something, because he's going to keep catching these L's.
You know what I would have loved in that action sequence, and I sort of mentioned it already in the tail end of my review, so forgive me if it sounds like I'm repeating myself for you, Syntell, but like I would have liked it if in that fight sequence, Falcon, it would almost been like a Jackie Chan kind of thing, where Falcon is trying to engage with these super soldiers, and he's getting distracted by knockoff Captain America behind him, getting in the middle of the fight. So now he's having to save him and protect him while dealing with these guys, which ups the ante in terms of the struggle, because this is a dude who has been in the end game, right? And so
that's
like
what I'm saying.
he's a dope dude. Like he should be dope there, but he's being hampered. He's got one arm behind his back basically because he's got to deal with fake Captain America at the same time. I thought that would have been a cool conflict in the middle of that action.
You know what? You're right. And it could have shown that the person that's holding the mantle isn't as worthy. He may be worthy in a space where Falcon is not there, then he'd be worthy. But like you said, like Falcon and Bucky have both were in the end game. There's no better credit to put on your resume than that says I qualify. Right. You know, and this dude has just been through a couple of skirmishes. So I can absolutely see that. And the Jackie Chan reference is actually pretty brilliant, because, you know, in those moments when he has that conflict, he can kick your ass, but he's got so many other things he's trying to worry about. He ends up like taking shots.
Exactly.
That would have been a really good place to showcase it. They could have, you know, something that I really appreciate from you, and is that you forced me to look into the storytelling of fight sequences, and I never thought about it in that space, that fighting can be storytelling. Yeah. And so I actively look for it. I do. And even in things that we don't necessarily agree upon, and I just love the entertainment value. I respect the craft enough to know that these stunt coordinators are willing to tell these stories. Right. And this episode 2 did not really do that. There was one moment where it kind of told a bit of a story, and that is when Cap threw his shield, and it like whizzes like right by Bucky's face, bounces off of him, and Buck catches it as if like, I used to do this for my best friend and have his back. So he still hands the shield back over to it. That was like the only real moment of that storytelling in that sequence. Yeah. And everything else was just like this cluster. Yeah, fustercluck.
Just a big fustercluck. But no, I love that moment actually when Bucky catches it. I don't know if he actually handed it to him, but it was his face. It was like he just had this expression like, this fucking guy. Like I loved it. You know, he's got a lot of good expressions. We got a couple super chats I just need to address right quick. Robbie Sharma goes, what are your thoughts on racism mentioned in the second episode? Are they going to make any story or angle out of it? It sounds like for the remainder of the show we're going to be revisiting this topic.
Yeah, it's just something that's simmering in the background, which is reflecting.
But it just what frustrates me or concerns me rather is that we're not gonna. I just hope we revisit the sister thing that we established. I know that you're not super hyped about the sister relationship. I'm just. It's just that they set it up, and it's like, okay, if you don't come back to this, then it's like in this week racism, like this kind of racism, and then this kind of racism, and then it's like an after school special then, as opposed to connective story tissue. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I
can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing to me as well out of the whole sister thing was the fact that like the guy at the bank asked Falcon like do you guys get anything for being superheroes? Like, is there some sort of like superhero package? And it's like, oh no, wait, like they risk their lives for America and the world at large, and they literally don't get anything for their efforts, which to me was almost like it felt like a comment on veterans and stuff as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that.
There's a lot of stuff going on there.
I think that what's cool about the show is that there are so many subplots. I mean, you heard me say that. I like that there's a lot going on, as long as they find a way to weave it in, and it's not just this ham-fisted thing they throw in, like I said, like an after-school special. Right. And Sriraj Nair says, do you think Marvel wants us to see Falcon earn the shield rather than something that was given to him, hence the drama around the shield?
What do you mean earn it? He's already earned it. He's already that's my problem, and is that they're gonna try and have some kind of justification for that. Bro, you've been earned it. I mean, not only did you earn it through your actions, Captain America himself personally handed you the shield and said you earned it. So for us to jump through these additional hoops to be like, well, I've got to prove myself, I hope it doesn't do that, because that's whack. You've been earned it.
But that's the thing. That's the thing is he doesn't believe it though. Like you can, from the outside, anyone can say you have all the skills, you are worthy, but until you believe it yourself,
well, I think in his head, and this is just woefully stupid to me, I think he thought that by him turning down the shield that they would just retire it and that nobody is worthy of the mantle. I think that's what he's thinking. It's not that he's not worthy of the mantle, it's that nobody is worthy of the mantle. And America was like, nope, we're going to get somebody to jump through these hoops in this suit. Is it going to be you, or we'll find somebody else? And they went and found somebody else. So he felt I think he feels the mantle is disrespected.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think Bucky feels the mantle, not the mantle, and his best friend is disrespected because they bled and literally died for that mantle. And for them to just put it on anybody who is yet to prove, and that was not there during the end game, that did not go through the battles with him, they just hand that to you. So I think they both just misread that. So I think Falcon is stupid to assume that they're not going to just put another bear in a dancing dress and a tutu and make him dance.
Right.
I was like, you got to be smarter than that, dog. They was going to do that. And then Bucky's looking at him like, you really that fucking stupid to believe that they weren't going to put somebody in there, and it should have been you.
Right.
You were chosen.
Right.
And you're the one that turned your back to it. So I hope they don't go through that. Well, I really earned it. That would be the wackest move ever. I mean, you got to re-earn it, bro. You was going, you fought Thanos' army. I don't want to hear anything about I got to earn it. You've been earned it. If the writers do that, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah. There's a question here. Why did the therapist drag Falcon in the therapy session at the police station? She doesn't know Bucky's having a fight with Sam.
I don't understand that either. I was like, how did we miss some context of why they have to be in the room at the same time?
I liked that scene though. I mean, yeah, I agree. It didn't really seem to make sense. It's like, why are we doing couples therapy apart from it being like a cute little buddy cop situation?
So people were saying to me that if you pay attention, Bucky's not actually joking with Sam at all. It's all coming from Sam. In that scene, Sam's also kind of joking. I mean, Bucky's also kind of joking back because they're playing the staring contest with each other.
Right.
It's like, wait, are you mad at each other? Or do you love each other? Like, which is it? Like, I'm very confused about this relationship. And it's like, I thought what it was going to be based on the commercials was it was going to start out with them being at odds with each other for whatever reason. And then it progresses into appreciating each other, joking with each other, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, it seems like they're trying to do both at the same time. I don't know. Is it just me?
No, well, I mean, they're both, like, Steve chose both of them. Steve chose Buck as his original best friend.
Yeah.
And then when, decades pass later, Steve chose somebody else.
Yeah.
It's just, people move and grow. Yeah. And now that they're gone, it's like now they got to try and have this couples retreat couples therapy thing going on because they're both mourning over the same man. It's a very relationship thing. It is. It really is like a couples retreat kind of thing.
All in the game said that it's because she knows that Bucky is not responding to Sam's texts.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch explosions.
Sorry for explosions.
Yeah. I mean, it was work. You all thought it hit the mark with the
I didn't feel like it hit the mark.
He didn't feel like it, but I liked I don't know, maybe it's because I'm in therapy myself, and so when I saw Bucky have his little breakthrough
As a fellow crazy,
as a fellow someone who cares for my mental health,
Right.
yeah, so when he had that breakthrough moment when he was all like, basically, because if Falcon isn't good enough, like if it's not true what Captain America said about Falcon or whatever, then really it boils down to like, then I'm not worthy, then and that moment I was just like, oh my God, my heart breaks for you, Bucky.
I felt like that was way too forward.
You thought it was too much?
I thought that was
know.
too forward. I mean, I get the sentiment. Believe me, I get the sentiment. But come on, just as men, you have a hard time opening up. But like as a soldier who's been through shit for hundreds of years or 100 years or whatever, it's like this guy would have taken a little bit longer to get that out, I think.
Maybe, but I think it's because sometimes things come out when we're in conflict with people and we're just like, they were having that little like, why did you do that? I did that because and it goes back and forth, and then suddenly it just spills over and it's like, oh, that's the root of it, because you don't feel worthy either.
I like the sentiment.
Wasn't Sam like a PTSD therapist in Winter Soldier?
I can't remember.
I
might have been. He might have been. I can't remember.
I thought he was talking to troops and like help. I thought that's how his character kind of got introduced in the MCU.
Maybe Sam, I just remember him from running around and then like trying to race Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America outpacing him every 8 laps.
And then he's like, oh dang.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Captain America would come in to his therapy sessions and watch him help soldiers with PTSD, and then that's what made that moment pivotal. That after the blink, when Captain America was hosting his own sessions, he was kind of like doing it in. It's almost like a hat tip to Sam. Like, this is what my friend used to do.
Gotcha.
Try to help people get back on track. So I'm going to do that as well. So with all that being said, if Sam is that person, like that space of healing should be very familiar to him. And he was kind of really like, why are we doing this? I'm like, bro, you did this for a living. What do you mean? Well, why are we doing this?
It's different when it's group therapy, all right?
But just so the audience knows, like I like that idea that's what's underneath for him. I just thought that it was quite early in the show for that to show up. That's all I was trying to say. Crazy Montry says, hi, Sabara. He's combining all three of our names.
All three of us.
Even Zemo had superhuman strength. Didn't see anything in the movie, though. Do you think they're going to make him a badass villain? Also, absolutely. Thoughts on Bucky being Captain America?
Yeah. I think Zemo is going to be all the way bossed up.
Yeah, because that's true. Because I was thinking about, I didn't know that Zemo had superhuman strength, because I don't remember him having that in Civil War.
I don't remember that either. I thought he was just smart.
Yeah, I was like
he was just able to
read. He's got a problem. He's got an issue because they kill his family.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he was just one of those people that was able to just like read the schematics and whatnot, understand all the the know-how and whatnot, and he was able to plan according to that.
Right.
I
But
know he's probably going to beat the brakes out of Captain America, because there's got to be that moment where this Captain America is unworthy. Right, the replacement Captain America.
Yeah, for sure.
There has to be the unworthy moment, and I think he's going to be the one to hand that Captain America his ass and be like, "You're not worthy of this mantle."
I think that I'm starting to feel that this is only 6 episodes. Is the problem that that's what's probably introducing issues.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel that, because we're a third of the way through, and I still feel like we should have like at least 8 more episodes.
Yeah, I mean,
we're already a third of the way through.
Yeah, because the thing about it is when knockoff Captain America goes, all right, just stay out of my way then. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
I was like, that you went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. That's like episode 4, episode 5. Like you guys have been in conflict because you keep stepping on each other's toes. Now you say it. But like to be saying it before anything's even come up, are you kidding me? Like the fight scene established that he got the hell out of your way. He cleared the way for you. You know?
What I think what they're doing is they're setting up the fall. They're setting up his fall from grace. because I think not only is he gonna get his ass whooped, he's gonna turn.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
It's not going to be like
that
they're
much.
not going to do all this and then just have him just die randomly. I think he's going to turn for the worse.
Yes.
Because he is America's non-superhero hope. I mean, he gave you his resume, all the tours that he did, the physical endurance tests that he's done, him going back to his high school as the true blue All-American. Like they're building him up just so they can tear him down.
Yeah.
And then when he finally hits rock bottom, the turn is going to happen.
Right.
And then he's going to be a worthy adversary.
Right.
And he's got a face that's punchable. So I can't wait for that to happen so that he can get socked in that weird looking face repeatedly.
Yeah. No, for sure. I could feel that too. But I guess because I can feel and see the seams at work, you know, I can see the writers at work. I start to get anxious when we're watching too much of him. Like the introduction in the high school, I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. And then the scene with the marching band, I'm like, God damn, like how long is this? Like I checked out of that shit up until they showed Bucky with his dog in the TV. When he's just mad dog in the TV. That's when I checked
he's
back
looking
in.
at like, this is some bullshit. That's what he's looking at.
Well, exactly. But like, did you need all that though? Did you need Bring It On before you got to his face? Like really? You know what I'm saying?
But if you remember, like, there's a lot of like moments when Steve Rogers was doing the same thing, you know, when he had like the little ad for the high school and he turns the chair around and he's like, you might be feeling some kind of way about your body. Like he's jumping through the hoops that Captain America is supposed to as well. So this isn't like anything new.
Exactly.
You know, it's a part of the mantle. It's a part of what you have to do.
But you know what though? With Chris Evans, the way he played that, he didn't come off as an asshole. You know, he didn't come off as someone you wanted to punch in the teeth. He came off as someone like you were kind of rooting for. At least you saw him as this scrawny little, you know, shrimp and then become Captain America and then go through these things. Like you're following his journey. Whereas this dude shows up, he's just got an asshole on his face and like, he just looks like someone you want to knock out right away.
Right. But I think, but that might be a hat tip to actually good directing for the overall story. Because we're kind of seeing him from the aspect of how Bucky sees him. It's like, who the fuck is this person that just hops in and does the dance and wants the respect? It's like, no, you haven't. We earned the right to love Steve because we went through the MCU with him. We were there from his rise to his fall to his death to his resurrection to all of that. Like we know this man, and now we're just kind of like being force fed this guy's quick story, and then they're like, he's worthy. Yeah. Buck's like, no, I lived with that man. I know what's up with him, just like we lived with Steve Rogers, and that's why we reject that dude. Because let's be honest, he hasn't really done anything that's been an asshole. He really hasn't. No. Even went as far as to even bail out Bucky when he got locked up. So I mean, he's been there step for step. He's done what the mantle is required for him to do. He's just not who we want.
We got a couple of chats real quick I got to address. Bro, Obama says, what do you think the arc of the new Captain America would be? He and his friend seem shady to me. We kind of went over that. He's going to become a bad guy. I think that's inevitable. And then Atharva Tiwari from the regular chat says, do you feel like people are more critical of this show because of the high bar set by WandaVision? Absolutely not. I don't think that's at all related. I think WandaVision didn't even set the bar super high, to be honest with you. I like this show. I enjoyed the shit out of it. But I don't think it set a crazy high bar that Falcon and the Winter...
either, man. I'm glad it's not just me. I thought it was all right. It was all right.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. But it's not something where I'm like, oh, my God, I loved it so much. It crushes the movies. You know, it's like...
I'm with you.
You know?
I'm with you on that. And it's to the point where people are like, you're just not going to give it an absolute 10? I'm like...
Hell no.
I mean, it was like a 7. I enjoyed it. I'm happy they made it. But well, it was
I liked it more than a 7.
Huh? You what?
I liked it more than a 7.
Yeah? Yeah. You know what bugged me? And like, so people were giving me, someone was giving me shit about this in the comments, is that they kept going back to this trope of the sitcom thing. And I'm like, but why? But why though? Like,
dude, get out of my head. That's what I'm saying. I know it's supposed to be the thing that she bonds with. That's the thing she connected with as a child, and that's her space of peace because her dad brought over the sitcoms. But it was just so much of it. It was just too much.
Like, if you had this in a movie, right? I mean, I get it. It's a show. It's a different space, but these are like mini movies, right? If you have this in a movie, that's the opening of the movie, right? It's like a sitcom, and then we revisit why that happened. or it's there for like a part of the film. It's not 90% of it and then drops out like book 7 of Harry Potter. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's there for a small portion, and then you move on, and then you revisit why that was even there.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, Niraj Vashishta goes, on Bucky being soldier for... by the way, Niraj, thank you so much for your generous super chats. Niraj Vashishta, on Bucky being soldier for 100 years, Hydra would erase his memory and freeze him after every mission, so at most he would have been awake for a couple of years, that also without his original memory. And he says Zemo in MCU is Scovian Special Forces and hence is a good operative with revenge for his family motivation. He is not a super soldier.
Right.
Okay.
But then apparently in the comics he is a super soldier. So
Right.
I guess now
I
we're
wish
gonna
I could
see.
speak on that too. I'm sorry. Please.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and maybe now we're gonna see how he gets that super soldier status. So it'll just kind of maybe the comics and the live action stuff is gonna start coalescing now.
Soham Roy says there was so much wrong with WandaVision. I personally hated the show and only watched it because it connected to the MCU. Abhishek Ankur, thank you for your super chat. I would love to see Isaiah Bradley versus Bucky. He was 1951 Captain America, and I'm glad that Marvel is going there. Also, why was he in jail for 30 years?
Yeah.
He was experimented on. You know, they were. You want to explain to Achara the Tuskegee Experiments?
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. So the short and sweet is that there were doctors going to Tuskegee and they wanted to understand how syphilis affects the body, and so they went to Tuskegee.
Where is Tuskegee?
It's in Alabama. It's a school in Alabama. It's an HBCU.
Okay.
And what they did is they told the people of Tuskegee, it's an all-black school, and the town itself is pretty much all black. And they told them, they was like, listen, we got like the cure to help you with syphilis. And they lied to them instead of like helping them keep from contracting it. They willfully gave everybody the virus,
oh my
just
God.
so they could study the effects. And this isn't the first time like this type of like biological type warfare has been done in the States. I mean, our government has done it to Native Americans. It's done in a lot of different places, but for my community, the African American community, it just really sticks out because they came like trying to help and went out of their way to be harmful and to kill people and to hurt people and to destroy and break up families. So with this, that ties into this because you have during the super soldiers when they were trying to make the super soldier serum. Captain America at the time that in the MCU was one of the only people to successfully take the serum and have it work for them positively without any adverse effects. But what they didn't really go into is how many other people did they give this to or it may not have gone well for.
Right.
So now we meet this guy, this black man who had the super soldier serum, and instead of them elevating him, they gave it to him and it worked, but instead of them elevating him into the Captain America program or being even Captain America's sidekick or whatever it is, so that they could use it in a positive way, they experimented on him. They locked him up. They drew his blood, both sides. They said Hydra did it and the U.S. did it. So there are no good guys in all of this. So naturally, this man is going to be pissed.
Yeah.
You know, so
he deserves to be. Yeah.
I like that. I like that they introduce him into the show, and I hope that comes back, and I hope that it's not just this throwaway thing. Because that's
I think that ties into the overarching thing of the whole race relations with Sam as a whole, and that is, it doesn't matter if you were in the end game. It doesn't matter if you were the same type of super soldier that Steve Rogers was. And a lot of people feel, and I feel this way as well, and this is just my personal opinion, is that your blackness is defines you first. Mm-hmm. And you are going to be treated as such, regardless of your station, regardless of you being a superhero, politician, whatever your religious beliefs, anything. It doesn't matter. You're going to be treated based off how you look first.
Right.
And that is going to be done in an unjust way.
Right.
And then by some chance, if you happen to do something that's considered outstanding, like fight an endgame and wear the mantle of Falcon, then you might get half a pass, half a caveat. It's like, oh, I was going to crack you in the head with this billy club and lock you up and beat the shit out of you. But then I realized you were Falcon. So you kind of like get the pass.
Yeah, I've actually
And
seen
then
that kind of thing in real life.
And even if you want to use that as an edge to try to help you out, in which Falcon tried to do with the bank, he's like, well, hey, you know, I'm Falcon, you know, so can I get a loan? And if you getting a loan as a Black person in America is difficult. It's just not an easy thing to do because for whatever stereotypes and social misjustice that facilitates that, be it trust or whatever, it's just tough. And even Falcon, who helped fight off Thanos' army, the dude at the bank was like, yeah, but you're still a brother. You still a Black dude. Yeah, you know, thanks for your service. Gave him a little pat on the back and was like, get out my bank.
Can I get a photo with you?
Selfie?
Yeah, can I get a selfie, right?
Will you give me a loan?
Yeah, you can't shake your Blackness. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. Yeah. And like I said before, I think that does need to be addressed, but I still wanted to get to know who Falcon was first. Let me wear the Falcon suit and get to know this character, and then let's address that. But they chose to go a different direction.
So just real quick, I sort of saw something like that in real life once. I was doing a shoot for Wayne Brady, and he wanted to do this joke where he was in this skimpy ass. I mean, this was deliberate though. He knew what he was doing. Like he was in this thong underwear thing in the street, acting like a crazy person, surrounded by cops, and then he was gonna run to his car right in front of Baja Fresh in Sherman Oaks, and hop in his car and bounce. And so we did it once, and there was some kind of issue, so he had to do it a second time. When he hopped in his car and bounced, the cops came after him. As soon as they saw his face, though, they were like, "Oh, okay, all right," and they just let him go. Because he's a celebrity, you know. If he wasn't, anyway, because I guess they knew he was joking around.
Yeah.
Amira Muhammad, who I'm surprised she's in the chats here because I thought she hated my ass. Maybe she's because she was coming after me in the comments, dude. I'm like, God damn.
She just wants to have a chat. Okay.
Like, I feel like she was one of those people who was like, "Oh, 3's too much for you. Imagine dealing with it in real life." I'm like, all right. Okay, so. Amira Muhammad says they didn't give the men syphilis in Tuskegee. They experimented and denied treatment to men who already had it.
I don't know anything about this, but either way, it's.
I'm just giving you what she said. I don't know. I'm
really bad.
I can't speak on the matter, but I just want to give you what she said. And
let's put a pin in that.
Yes, put a pin. David Zenteno says thoughts on Flag Smash. Oh, thank you, David Zenteno, for your super chat. By the way, thoughts on Flag Smashers believing that the world was better after Thanos snap. What are your thoughts on reducing population equals more resources?
I mean, that's definitely like a difficult conversation, right? I mean, that was the whole thing with Thanos too. It's like when he was talking about just snapping away half the population. I mean, at least for me, a part of me was like, yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. We have an overpopulation problem and like not enough resources and stuff like that. And so, yeah, understand, but also, the loss of, you know, half the human lives in the world is not good. But like I see where the Flag Smashers are coming from as well, like that sort of disenfranchisement and feeling like nobody cares about us now, like everybody's focus is on everybody who's come back now, and yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of conflict there, and it definitely makes for like interesting bad guys.
I just want to shout out Simran Ahuja. She's over here, and Tech138. He's over here. You know, just look. I'm seeing familiar faces, familiar names.
Okay.
Kukuchiku says, Jaby, please post stream link in Jaby Koay and Jaby Live channel community. Many people are missing the interesting conversation, sadly. I posted it on Jaby Koay. And then, what's his name? Where's Abhinav asked to be a mod on this channel as well.
Okay.
Ria Sharma retracted several messages. I don't know what she's retracting. I missed it before she says it, but then she was saying something about Captain America's outfit on Sam, like if it's going to have wings. Like, she's just curious. After Falcon gets the shield, I wonder if he'll also wear Captain America's suit, or he just used it with his wings. Like the shield with the wings.
I don't remember the art. I do remember, oh, man, you know, I have to Google the art and see how it was depicted.
It's all good.
Woo, Akash Danasakar is back.
Aditi Patil, no, say COVID is on the rise. Don't want to risk. Okay, that's a whole other conversation going on. Amira says, I read a book on the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. It's a common misunderstanding of how it went down. They gave them syphilis. They did let them die from it, though.
yeah, I mean, like I said, either way, that's
Yeah, see here,
super messed up.
also to kind of be clear, I went to an HBCU, and there's a lot of conversations that go on regarding that. Like I'm sure if you like go on Wikipedia and you read up on it, like that the main way it's explained is that there are already individuals that already had it, and then they offered the services saying that we can help treat it, and they didn't. But then there's also like conspiracy theories, tinfoil hat theories, that it wasn't just that they didn't treat the people that had it; they were also giving it to people as well. Now, like I said, that's a tinfoil hat theory,
Right.
and I was living in an area where those kind of theories were pushed to the forefront and do seem quite believable given the history of how our country treats people of color. So it's not without the realms of possibility, but I do believe like the official what happened in the Tuskegee experiments is that out of the people that already had syphilis, they were told that we were going to come in here and treat it. And that's a fact of the matter. That's not a conspiracy thing. They said they were going to come there and treat it, and they didn't because they wanted to see what the effects were going to be.
Right.
But what I was talking about is more of a conspiracy theory. I will happily admit I'm wearing my tinfoil hat when it comes to that they not only did not try and help, but they also helped to spread it. So
Right.
let me be clear with that.
Niraj says, Niraj Vashishta, again with a super chat, says, even Chris would have become a lab rat after the doc who created the serum died, if not for the senator who saw an opportunity to use him for propaganda. I don't know, but I mean, sure.
Yeah, but he didn't.
But
That's the
yeah.
thing.
And thank you, Provider, for your super chat. All in the Game says, starting to see why Jaby is more an action storytelling guy than actual storytelling guy. I think that I break down story as well. But like the thing is, there's not a lot of people breaking down action, so I really go in on it.
Right.
You know?
Well, you have a very good visual eye for action storytelling. Like,
Yeah.
it's a talent that you have, man. So it just shines.
Thank you, sir.
What they're saying.
So, but I like to break down story as well. I mean, that's what we're talking about right now. That's
Right.
most of this chat is the story. Abhishek Ankur, Earth became ground zero for 3 snaps. Thanks, Banner and Stark, and that much cosmic radiation may induce mutants. Thoughts? What? I'm having a hard time
I
here.
guess
There
he's
was
trying
3
to say
snaps?
thanks
There
to
was 3?
Banner and Stark and that. Yeah, 3 snaps. So there was Thanos.
Well, Hulk tried to snap.
Oh, Hulk did. That's right.
Yeah, and then
There was 3. Yeah, they're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
Huh.
mutants.
It did make Earth ground zero for the universe with that much cosmic energy just being unleashed at the time. Now, I don't know about the mutant. I don't know how they're going to bring in mutants. That's what I thought WandaVision was going to do. I thought WandaVision was going to, because in the House of M, there was already mutants. They tried to stop her from augmenting reality. And as a way of Wanda paying everybody back for trying to kill her, she eliminated the mutant population on the planet by like half. And that's what kind of like starts the whole reboot of Marvel's comics. And it also made like mutants more relevant in the comic universe. So I thought that that's what they were going to do and how they were going to implement and bring in the X-Men and bring in all this other stuff, because Marvel did buy those properties. But that didn't happen. And maybe that could happen with the Doctor Strange, because I know they're going to still delve into Wanda's thing when Doctor Strange, and maybe that can be the segue into mutants. But I don't know if just the cosmic energy being released is what's going to create mutants. I'm don't think I read anything like that in the comics, that that's what brings in mutants. I mean, I think Xavier expressed it as just something in the human genome that was just odd, but as a way of evolution, it just became an evolutionary trait in mankind, and that's how mutants came. Please, chat, correct me if I'm incorrect, but that's how I understood how mutants came into the Marvel comic universe.
I didn't know these 3 snaps had anything to do with cosmic radiation, cosmic background radiation. I thought cosmic background radiation was just from the Big Bang, and that's it.
Well, but isn't there like a theory too with that too? Because that's how the stones came, was like from the Big Bang. It's like residue from the Big Bang.
I don't know that theory. I just know, I just watch the movies and then go about my day.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Like when people get on people and they're like, "Well, you don't understand the comic lore," I'm like, "Yo, that's a deep hole.
Yeah.
It's a lot A lot of different ways it can go. A lot of different stories.
Kuku Chiku says, at David Zenteno, he's talking to another super chatter. Why destruction is only option? Couldn't Stone's snap be used to double the resources instead? Why nobody talks about it? That's right. I mean, when Iron Man, he could have like wished for, fountain of youth for everybody.
Oh.
He could have wished for a lot of shit, but he just wished for Thanos to be gone, and then bounced.
So this group of, I guess, future terrorists regarding pre-snap, I don't know, the pre-snap populace or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Are we just assuming that they're just radicals, right? That's just what this is.
That's what it looks like.
Are they an official terrorist group?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of this terrorist group existing, of people who wanted to go back to the way it was after the snap, the initial snap of Thanos, wiping out half the population. Because I guess they do see the positivity and more resources being available. But the way it made it look in the movies after they chopped off Thanos' head, is it looked like the economy was fucked.
Yeah.
It just looked like a bad situation. So if they balance it out by showing a little bit of how this was a good thing instead of just telling us, then I could understand their perspective a little bit better. Because in other instances throughout the MCU films, whenever something's going on with a villain, they tend to show you like where they're coming from. Like Captain America, Civil War, you saw where everyone was coming from. In that fight, irrespective of your feelings about the movie. I love the movie, but irrespective of your feelings about the movie, they showed you where everyone is coming from and why they're fighting. They didn't just say it to you; they showed it to you, and I think that's missing a little bit here. I'm not super mad at it because it's a TV show, but it would have been nice to see it. Siraj Nair says a lot of Avengers fought Thanos, so earning the shield is about why Sam is more worthy of it compared to others. Would you call Ant-Man worthy of the shield? No, right? That would be funny.
Sure.
No, but he wasn't at Cap's side through multiple. Like
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, they established that he was on the run with Captain America for a while, so they've had each other's back.
And can you imagine the type of relationship that was built when you're on the run with somebody?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be intimate in terms of like how close you're, not sexual intimacy. Let me be clear, because I know people are taking it wrong with it. But it's got to be like an intimate kind of thing. Like your life is depending, every move, every single day, every waking moment is dependent on this person. It's almost like a wartime situation that Captain America had with Bucky. You're in the trenches with this dude for like years on end doing highly dangerous stuff. You're gonna love that person in a way that's gonna be difficult to replicate any place else.
Right.
That's a different kind of connection.
Right.
It's a wartime connection.
Why not, says Bucky at the end of Couples Therapy, asks, what's the rule number 2? Why did he say that? What am I missing? Does he want to hurt Sam? It's driving me crazy.
No, I don't think he wants to hurt Sam. I think he wants to hurt the other Captain America.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Julian T says, I like WandaVision because it's more intellectual. Falcon and Winter Soldier is more sit back and watch the explosions and fight scenes. I like both, but I prefer to be challenged. I don't agree with that. Well, I think that Falcon and Winter Soldier is also trying, if anything, Falcon and Winter Soldier is trying harder to be intellectual than WandaVision is.
Well, I'm coming in with another comment from Julian T, where he's saying WandaVision was grief. Falcon and Winter Soldier deals with racism, depression, and mental health. It's clever timing considering in 2020 we lost so many people and depression has skyrocketed. Yeah, no, that's a really great observation. Like, and I was just kind of blown away with the whole WandaVision grief thing, because I'm like, it's so interesting to take, like, I guess the structure of a superhero story and then weave in something that so many of us can understand, and also I guess something that all of us will experience at different parts in our lives, which is grief, and it's huge and overwhelming and all encompassing, and it's just interesting to see how Wanda deals with that. I thought it was really beautifully done. Yeah,
I agree, because she went through all the stages, right? All the stages of acceptance, denial, anger, all of that, and you see her go through all of those stages on the show. Here's the thing too that I also have to admit. Like, how like there's different types of intelligence. You have like book intelligence, wisdom intelligence, and there's like an emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of men, including myself, I'm including myself into this group as well, we don't have the same level of emotional intelligence as women. And that may be a gender biased thing to say, but I believe that. I think women have a way higher emotional intelligence than men do generally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the way Wanda was written is written in that vein. Mm-hmm. It's an emotional intelligence that you have to be able to allow yourself to connect to. And I know due to my own personal hangups of bullshit and whatever it is, my ability to connect with that on an intellectual level might not be as high as others. And that's why they love that work on in a way different way than I could possibly understand it. So I will give that hat tip. I'm like, yeah, they are talking about subject matters that are heavy.
Yeah.
It's just, are you willing to accept that? And I may not have been in that space to accept it as completely as Syntell Achara.
Right. Aditya, actually, before I get to Aditya's, Zarek Anthony says, too bad your guest isn't enjoying the show. His name is Syntell. I find it brilliant. I find it brilliant and really engaging as a black man. I commend Marvel for tackling the subjects they're diving into. This isn't actually, like, all that new as far as Marvel is concerned. I mean, the reason why the show X-Men was invented was to address topics like this. So,
yes, it was.
You know, it's a topic that's been around for a while, but so go ahead.
Oh, and also, like, I know this may be, and I'm going to sound a little arrogant for a hot second. I know, like, for a lot of viewers that are watching this, and they're like, they're dealing with these racial topics, and it's like, my mind is blown and all this other stuff. Like, I live this, like, this is my everyday. So I'm not, like, blown away by the fact that they're addressing something that me and my family and loved ones talk about every single day.
Right.
You know, so, and I'm happy that they are addressing these issues and stuff, but forgive me if my jaw just doesn't drop on the ground because they're having a conversation about it on the screen. It's like, y'all should have been doing this shit. So.
Yeah.
But, like, how do you feel about that in terms of, like, for people who are outside of the experience to maybe see that represented on the screen? You know, and to be able to empathize.
I'm happy for that, and I have to get out of my own arrogance and realize there's still teachable moments that need to be had, and they're doing it on a format that, even though I'm ready to hear the storytelling of Falcon and Sam and all that, because that's just what I'm fiending for out of this story, they decided to have these teachable moments instead. So that's why I said it's necessary to have it. It's just, I would have rather have gotten to know who these people were first and then have these teachable moments. But by no means am I saying these teachable moments should be taken away. They should be addressed. They need to be addressed. They have to be addressed.
Yeah. I mean, that you just reminded me of two things just real quick, which is there was someone who said I'm having a hard time letting go of my white adjacent privilege. And I'm like, because of my comments on the show, because I said I didn't like the Black Falcon part, or I didn't like where it was. And so, like, it just kind of fucked me up when someone said that. I'm like, first off, do I look like a white guy to you? Because most people don't see me that way, right? Even though I'm half white, like, most people don't look at me and see white. They see, like, some kind of minority, and they don't know what to do with it. And they don't know who most of my friends are, like, who I consider family, you know? And so it's like, but to go and say that would look weird, so I just take it on the chin. I'm like, all right, whatever. I can't fight this. But the thing about it is, because you're saying, your question was, you know, how about this, you know, teachable moments for people who are not as familiar. It's like, it's still kind of preaching to the choir at the end of the day, like a documentary. The people who go watch a documentary on a topic are there for that topic because they already support it before they got in the seat. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so if you disagree with the show, the hope maybe is that it'll move it for some people, that needle for some people who are like on the fence. I think that's maybe the hope in the end. But for most people who are in disagreement with it and just want to watch explosions, they're just going to tune that out. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so. But I mean, I think it's nice to be able to kind of see characters that you love and then just kind of empathize and be able to put yourself in their shoes if that's not your experience.
No, I like it.
Know?
I think it's cool. I just, you know, I'm with you, Syntell, in just like how much they're hitting you over the head with it. I think that they can avoid that if they just spread it out a little bit within the episode.
Sure.
You know, it's just like bam, 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 back to back to back. I'm like, yo, like I like all this. Let me breathe.
It's like, I wasn't ready. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing it again. Oh, okay. All right. It's just.
Yeah, it's just a bit much all at once.
Bob and weave with it a little bit. Yeah.
Aditya R says mutants will join after Doctor Strange and Spider-Man films, as they will open the concept of multiverse, and Fox's X-Men will come to the MCU, and new Avengers will be formed. Deadpool will also join the MCU.
Oh, yay. I mean, I'm down for that. I love the X-Men.
Yeah.
Julian T says, yeah, you saw my comment, but I want to know why Jaby disagreed with the intellectual point on the shows. So here's the thing. Maybe let me retract my statement just a little bit with regards to WandaVision, because they were, like you were saying, addressing topics of trauma and depression and all that stuff, which is what I was calling out from the commercials.
Yeah.
It's just that they spend so much fucking time on this sitcom format. It's hard. It's
my issue.
It's hard. It's hard to look at that as an intellectual show. It's like it just feels kind of lazy at a certain point. It's like, oh, look, we're in the 90s now. I'm like, God damn, like I was there. You don't need to keep doing this. So anyway, that's all. It's just like some of the issues I have with the show overall took away from my satisfaction on the intellectual front, but it is certainly there. Name Channel Super Chat, it says the real question is when will the day come when we stop addressing racial issue? I just feel bad when after being this advanced we have this issue. Some Dutch guy in my comments got railed into hard because he's like, in 2021 the Western world doesn't have any racism. There's no racism, and then people went after him, and he's like, damn, this guy. Because the thing is, from his you got to understand, he's Dutch. From his perspective, there is no racism. He doesn't see color. Like he doesn't experience all that. So even though there is racism and it's very much alive and present, I'm trying to be empathetic towards him. I'm like, I get why you feel this way. Hopefully people are kind in educating your ignorance.
Generally, they're not, though.
No, because the thing about it is, like, I have Syntell, I've got Chuck, I got Courtney, I got Skeeter, I got everyone to educate me, and they all let me have it hard when I'm ignorant. So, you know what I'm saying? I know what it feels like to feel bad. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, so we just went over that. It's like, when will we stop addressing the racial issue? I don't think ever. I think this will always be a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Tribalism is always going to exist. It's
exactly.
Since monkeys were hitting each other over their heads with sticks.
Exactly.
There's going to be tribalism.
Yeah. So. We just need an excuse for it, and race is an easy one to use as an excuse for tribalism. Crazy Monstru says, Marvel Universe is so big. I mean, Stark had a lot of techno toys that might have been captured by the government, though that was private property. So do you think they're going to introduce Iron Heart soon? I don't even know.
She's already been greenlit. Yeah, she's coming.
Yay. Okay. I have no idea who it is, but I'm excited for it.
It's a woman of color too that's going to take up the mantle of Iron Man.
Oh, awesome!
So I keep saying the mantle. Is that? What? You know what? The two of you describe that. What does that mean to take up the mantle of something? Is it just the ideology?
You're inheriting you're inheriting the title and the aura.
The ideology.
The ideology, the aura of that character is really all you're inheriting. But that's cool. Aman says, I'm with you too. WandaVision was good, not amazing. Akarsh Verma says, my comment on Jaby's screen. Yes, it is.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, exactly. And then Hari Kiran says, in the comic, he does have the shield plus wings.
Okay.
I'm down with that.
And Hitmaniac says, I also feel Bucky internally felt he could have succeeded Steve as the next Cap, but the fact that Steve felt Sam is more deserving didn't go down well with Bucky. I did not catch that at all.
I didn't catch that either.
I think that Bucky's just fine being White Tiger or whatever they called him.
White Tiger.
And I don't think Bucky still thinks he's worthy to even be a human being because of the atrocities that he's done, and they just forgave him. He got pardoned, but just because you got pardoned doesn't mean you're not dealing with the trauma. So I don't think he feels he's worthy to wield the mantle. We keep talking about the mantle, the mantle of Captain America, when he's barely can forgive himself for what he's done.
And I guess that's his journey, isn't it? That's why that's what they're covering in therapy, and that was the whole thing with his friendship with the Japanese guy. I think he's Japanese or Asian guy in any case, but because he feels so much guilt and he's trying to go around like righting his wrongs, but he can't forgive
I need to
himself.
IMDb that actor because I think they picked a Chinese guy to play that guy, and it kind of annoyed me a little bit.
You're like, God damn it.
Like, that's a little thing that Asians get pissed about, though. That's a very common thing for Asians to get annoyed about.
Ryan the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Yay, we got another Asian thing from Disney. But why didn't you hire more Southeast Asian voice actors? Why are they all East Asian? Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can see that because if I'm in that culture, I'd probably say the same thing. I'd be like, there's more than just one version of us, right?
Yeah. But honestly, I'm just excited that we get represented at all. I'm like, thanks for inviting us to the party. I'm so glad
I
to
liked
be
Raya.
here.
Did y'all like Raya? I know we're getting off the subject, but I really enjoyed Raya.
It was
fun.
It was sweet. Yeah. It didn't live up to my expectations, but it was sweet. Yeah. I liked it.
I stand corrected. I think he is Japanese.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Because all the names I'm seeing here are Japanese names. I can't see his face. Because they're not showing the dude's face here. Like IMDb sometimes does that and then annoys the shit out of me. I'm like,
It's because you have to put up your own picture. That's why.
Is that what it is?
I got a random topic.
Yes.
And it was an annoyance for me.
What's up?
It's the relationship with Sam and his sister again, and she's like really mad at him and pissed because he left and she had to take care of the business by herself, and the business is failing and all this other stuff. And I know this is wrong to think, but I'm thinking if I'm Sam, I'm like, yo, I just got done fighting Thanos' army. I just got snapped back from existence from something where I was going. I'm like, can I get a thank you? Hey, bro, good job. It just went to immediately. You weren't here. Like, no shit, I wasn't here, and that's not even my fault. Like, it's like it feels to me like she was really upset and really angry at him because he was doing his job. And that, to me, I was like, I don't understand why she's so angry. Why is there not like, hey, thank you for fighting the most badass dude in the universe?
Sometimes that's a really real feeling, though, I think. Sometimes, there is you can't help the way that you feel, which is I felt abandoned. Even though intellectually you can go, well, I know why. I know why you abandoned me. But it's like her reality is she lived 5 years fending for herself and taking care of her children. And then all of a sudden he comes back and he wants to call the shots. She's like, no, you don't get to do that. Okay.
See, there goes your emotional intelligence kicking in where mine absolutely falters.
I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
I just want to thank you. That's all.
I see what you're saying, though.
Thank you.
I see what you're saying, though. It is a little bit confusing that she's so mad, but I think it has more to do with. I'm sorry. I was reading about on Ken Takamoto when you were talking, so you might have addressed what I'm about to say. But I think it has more to do with she's come into her own, she's her own person now. And he's trying to come in and, be captain of this ship, metaphorically and physically. But she's like, no, I got this, though. Like, you were gone for a while. I figured it out. I don't need your help. That's a pride thing. And I think a lot of people experience that. Like, they don't want a handout, know. I've experienced that with people where I try to help out friends. And they just don't return my call after that for a while because they don't want to deal with having to tell me, no, I don't want your handout.
Okay.
So I think that's more what it is. Ken Takamoto was born in 1934. He's an actor known for Transformers, Dark of the Moon, Moana, and Just Like Heaven. I never heard of this dude until Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He is Japanese, but I think he's American Japanese, and that's why his Japanese sounded it had an accent to me. You know what I'm saying? Like your Thai will have a certain accent to it.
Yes.
Right? That's all I'm saying. Achara's half listening to me, I can tell. So
no, I'm listening to you. I'm looking at the comments.
That's all good. It's all good. You can ignore me. I do it to you sometimes. Aditi Patil says sitcoms were Wanda's happy place. The brilliant creative decision made the show more interesting and also helped people relive the nostalgia. The show format made you went into all Sherlock mode. I get that. It's just how much they did it. It's just how much. It was just like, goddamn.
I think it's just a personal preference thing because I thought it was super cute.
But you made the point.
Episodes 1 through 3 could have been one episode.
Like, I know it's blasphemous to say this, but I kind of felt the same way. And this is going to completely derail the conversation for a hot second. But, I felt the same way about Harry Potter. I'm like, book 7's when you leave the fucking school? Like, why are you still at the school for 6 of these goddamn books? Like, come on.
Getting an education is important,
I'm
kids.
just saying. So I had the same issue with Harry Potter. It's like, come on, J.K. Rowling. And so, Cuckoo Chiku says, DT, ditto. WandaVision is underestimated for sitcom format most of the time. I think it's just nitpicking as the entire thing was brilliant. I'm not saying it wasn't smart. Like, I think that they did a lot of cool shit in the show. I just, too much of anything's unhealthy. Too much of water will kill you. Niraj, that's a fact. Niraj Vashishta, again with the super chats. Thank you, man. Sam and sister fight is because Sam is coming back after years of running around and being hero without 5 years of blip and forcing things on her. Yeah, basically what I said. So, yeah, she just doesn't like. I don't think you're an asshole. I get the thing that's great about that dynamic in the show, at least for me, from my perspective, was I immediately got where both characters are coming from and why they're in disagreement. That's good writing, in my opinion. If you're able to show me where people are coming from like that, without me having to do much of the legwork as an audience, I think that's actually really smart writing.
Oh, and Asura Gaming picked up on something interesting too about that relationship. He says Falcon's sister is kind of mad at him, and also because they sort of hinted that their family situation wasn't so good, and then Sam joined the army to avoid it, and then later got stabbed. So he just wasn't present.
Another layer of depth. That makes sense.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "Now I'm present." It's like, well, whatever. Don't need you.
1.3 million views says hello Achara from Phuket, Thailand.
It's called Phuket. Okay.
Phuket. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Thailand.
People make that joke all the time. Hello.
Common guy says, if you could write a Marvel movie, which character would it be on?
Oh.
Man, that's a tough question. That's a real tough question. I think that if anything, I would love to see backstory, like really exploring Thanos. Maybe even like the alternate story, which Syntell wished they did the movies on, which is like why he decided to annihilate half the universe. Because it wasn't initially what the movies said it was. It was initially because of love, because he was in love with death. You said.
Yep.
Oh.
And so as a one-off, kind of like almost like the Snyder Cut or the Joker movie.
Right.
Like as a one-off thing, it would be cool to see Thanos' backstory, how he got to whatever. Whether you follow the movie and keep it within canon or you deviate, it would be interesting to see a backstory with him because we really don't know the guy other than what he has espoused in his monologues. Like, that's it. But again, that's showing, not telling. Like, they showed a little bit. Like, the planet was lush, and then they ate into their resources, and then the planet looks like this now. Like, that's as much visual as we got.
Right.
For all of that glove work.
Glove work.
You know what I'm saying? Because he could show you anything. But yeah, I think Thanos. That's my quick answer. If I was to do, if I had my choice, I don't know. I don't know what I would. There's a lot of ideas. My mind goes in a lot of different directions. Like, what would a Wolverine Spiderman crossover look like?
Right.
Right. That would be interesting because those are two characters I loved as a kid.
Right.
So I think that's where my brain would also go. But
apparently, the Thanos backstory is in Eternals, so we won't have to wait much longer for that.
You know what I wouldn't mind seeing, and it's just so random. This is absolutely random. So in case you didn't know, the very first Marvel movie to hit the scene was Howard the Duck.
What?
It was the very first.
Really? Are you serious?
Movie. Yeah. I would like to see that redone. And there's a bit of a hat tip to Howard the Duck in one of the MCU movies. I can't remember where, but they show the guy that's the collector, the guy that collects all the cosmic things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like, if you look off and like in the distance, you'll see one of those canisters. He's got like Howard the Duck in there as well. So he's still like, it was like a little bit of a hat tip that Marvel did. It would be cool to see a redone version of Howard the Duck.
Cuckoo Chiku says Hela Thor's sister, god of death, is love interest if Thanos is in comics.
Oh, yeah. Hela, right? Mm-hmm.
Was it? Was it Hela? Man, I have to look that up. But I do know that he loved, Thanos was like obsessed with her, with death, and was like, yo, I'll take out half the universe if you just look my direction. And she just blows him off every single time. And that was like his whole reason for You know, it didn't have anything to do with population control and making a better day and all that other stuff. That's all MCU stuff.
It was just a guy wanting a date.
Oh,
yeah.
So just to be clear about what Amira said in the comments, I don't know if she's still here in the chat, but what she said in the comments was, I think Achara gets the episode much, much more than Jaby does. Because, you know, whoever you agree with is the person who understands the content better. Also, I don't think there needs to be a quota of how many times racism can be brought up in a given episode. See, that's just where I disagree. It's like, I mean, first off, I'm misunderstood. It's not how much, it's when, where,
Right.
more than anything. But, like, I want more just, like, adventure with these two characters, I think is what Syntell and I are both, like, after here.
Yes.
You know? And so,
Yes.
you know, that's all it is. And so then it starts to, like, you start getting antsy and nitpicky about shit. You're like, fucking A. You're just complaining.
Because I know in my head, when it came to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm thinking, like, immediately I'm thinking of, like, Lethal Weapon, that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, and it's just, we're not getting that.
Right.
We're getting something else.
Yeah.
So I'm still like secretly still wanting that.
Yeah. It was a little bit of bait and switch. A little bit.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they advertised, you're going to get, you know, a social commentary show, maybe it wouldn't have gotten as much of a draw. You know what I'm saying? So, and I get that. It's a little sneaky thing, and it's totally a move that I would have pulled, so I can't be too mad at it. Because, like, in my writings of scripts and stuff like that, in my efforts to address certain topics, I'd always, like, kind of wedge it into an action film, so you wouldn't see it coming. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And Michael always got on my case about that. We got a lot of super chats flying in. So let me. I guess we're igniting some passion in the chats with some ignorance.
We must have said something.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Must correct canon.
The fan eligibility police. Niraj Vashishta again with the super chats. Thank you, man. Thanos being in love with Lady Death is in comics, not in movies. Jaby wants to do Wolverine origins kind of movies. Duck not made by Marvel Studio.
So let's have the Howard the Duck movie made by Marvel Studios. That'd be fun.
Why was he?
But Howard the Duck is a Marvel property.
Gotcha.
Oh, I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, this was before Marvel Studios was made. Well, that's kind of like discrediting Blade, because Blade is absolutely a Marvel property, but it was made before Marvel Studios was made. You know, I think that was done under, like, Amon-Ra Productions. It was done under Wesley Snipes' production company.
And so, in terms of directing a Wolverine film, like, if I ever got the chance, I'm not talking about Wolverine Origins by any stretch. What I'm talking about is, like, a weird what I thought we were going to get with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a weird duo between Wolverine and Spider-Man. Not an Origins movie, but, like, a new story.
Right.
You know, I don't need to go back and I'm tired of them going back and explaining, like, how Batman lost his parents. Like, I want to see a new story.
Skip forward.
You know,
it was kind of like how they did Thor and Hulk. You know, it was like a good, like, buddy.
Yeah.
These two superheroes trying to work it out.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
And I think that's kind of like a lot of people, well, many people were looking for with this. Yeah. With Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm very much into the Taika Waititi approach of things. You know.
Yeah.
Abhishek Ankar, Lady Death show. Did we read that already?
No.
Okay. Lady Death chooses Deadpool over Thanos, and Thanos gives immortality to Deadpool so that he may never meet her. Make a movie on this story.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's a good point. That would be funny, because you want to talk about a real heavy and a real, you know, the lighthearted dude going back and forth. But that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna do that, but that would be dope.
Suraj Nair says, was Black Falcon a dig at DCEU's upcoming Black Adam, starring The Rock? Black Panther doesn't count because Panthers are a different kind.
Yeah, I mean, there's that whole argument, because Black Panthers, they are actually called Black Panthers.
Right. No. I don't think so.
Can I ask you a question, man? And I know you're not representative of everybody, but just you personally, like, don't you feel that sometimes, or do you feel that sometimes when the word black is inside the superhero's name, it's got power behind it? Because to me, it sounds powerful.
But see, yeah, but there is that point because you got to keep in mind when a lot of these original concepts came up, it was done in the 60s. It was during the civil rights movement. It was done during,
Black Power.
Yeah. So yeah, in that time, in that space, in that context, absolutely. But that context doesn't carry the same weight today as it did like back in the 60s. So that's why there's kind of like this weird like disconnect, which in hindsight, and the more I think about it, and the more I process it, when it came to the little kid, he walks up to the little kid and he was like, "Are you black, kid?" It does bring up that interesting conversation because you don't have to be defined by black first and this thing. The argument is, can I just be this thing?
Yeah.
Can I just be Falcon? Why do I have to be Black Falcon?
And I feel like that's something that you bring up a lot. Like anytime that I'm reacting to stuff with Jaby and then I see something that's like, yay, women rock. And then I get all like jazzed up by it. I'm like, yay, female empowerment this and da da da. And then Jaby's just like, can we just like, that's just the thing. Like, when can we get to a part where we don't call that out anymore because it's just normal? You know what I mean? Where it's like we've just become so used to that now that it's not a thing that we need to cheer about so much or like point out. And I think you have a point there where it's like, maybe at some point we can get to that stage, and I think we're starting to make moves in the right direction where we're like, that's just accepted now.
That's a bit of a different conversation, but like the thing there is, it's not that we don't have strong female characters. It's that they just haven't been as supported, and I think they still have a deficit of support sometimes. You have these movies that have come out recently, like women hijacked Terminator, the most recent Terminator. How many girls do you know that went to go watch that movie? I don't know anyone except maybe Courtney that went to go see that movie. You know what I'm saying? And so you have these films that's like, okay, if you're happy about your representation in movies, if you want that, you need to go support those movies, even if they suck, so that people know, so that studios know that that's a viable, profitable thing. You know what I'm saying? Because like there was that kitchen movie with was it Hell's Kitchen? I forgot the name. Of the movie. With the it was all female cast, and then there was the movie that Courtney hated. I can't remember the name of it. The Wives. Widows?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Widows.
Yeah, Courtney hated that movie.
Widows.
She hated that movie so much. But, like, that was leading with women at the forefront. And that movie did not do well. It's like, where's all the support for this? Where's the support for Annihilation? That's all I get on. It's like, there are movies out there. There's stuff out there that have strong female characters. It's just not getting support. So... Instead of cheering at the commercials, go watch the movie. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
but you know what? There is. I may not agree with every single thing that you're saying, but you are hitting on some things that I definitely want to take a stand with you on, and that is when you do make these projects. If women aren't going out to support it, then what was the point?
Right.
Like I need Widows to get like strong audience, growth audience, people rushing out to go see it so that we can see more of it. But if you do this thing to prove a point and then nobody shows up, then nobody's going to want to reinvest in that project.
Exactly.
Well, it's exactly that. It's like we need women to be like Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Like, there's this thing in the Asian community whenever a new like film or something comes out that stars an Asian cast or is telling Asian stories or whatever, everyone bands around on social media and it's like, we gotta give it a golden open, everybody, let's go. And then like everybody packs out the theaters and it's like, get that golden open. So like we need that for the ladies.
Yeah.
Like, ladies,
I
get
mean,
that golden open.
Because
assemble.
Because hashtags are cool and all and reposts are cool and all, but what talks is numbers and money.
Yeah.
Money talks. Money is what's going to guarantee you get another opportunity. You just doing a hashtag don't mean shit.
Right.
So if you want something like that to stick and you want to see more of that type of storytelling, you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to support these projects.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, because Crazy Rich Asians broke box office records, and so it's clear some Asians in the country want to see more Asians in movies. You know what I'm saying? So Black Panther broke records.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And so you're going to get more of that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. All I'm trying to say is, like, we've been having strong female leads. Could we use more? Sure. But, like, I'm so used to it at this point that I'm like, I'm not going, oh, yeah, female power. It's like, no, this is a thing. This is just common now.
Yeah.
We could stop, like, emphasizing it as if it's new, because it's not. And so in the comments, let me see if I can make it seen here. There we go. Camila, this is from the comments on the video. I don't think having 3 racial references in a row was a little much at all. I think that's literally what Black people and POC deal with daily. Imagine how much it feels like in our actual lives. So that's the thing that kept coming up. It's like, this is what it feels like in our lives. I'm like, yeah. It's hard for me to talk because I'm like, do I get to talk about this? Do I count as part of the latter group?
You are a POC, though.
Okay, so then why can't I make a fucking comment on it?
Because you're not Black.
Listen, here's the thing. When it comes to like Black projects, especially when it comes to like award season and Oscars, if something Black is going to be awarded, most likely it has to be like some kind of slave narrative or something that has already been defined by the overall culture. That's the only subject matter that we will accept worthy of being talked about. If you're somebody that enjoys content like I do, and many people that look like me do, we realize that there's other stories outside of just the racial narrative, outside of just the slave narrative, outside of just the civil rights narrative. We can tell beautiful, brilliant stories that can receive the same type of worthiness and applause that is outside of just this niche, just this bubble. It's like, we don't want to talk about any Black content or anything that deals with Black people unless it deals with some type of pain. You know, it's like, it's exhausting. Why can't I just have a dope ass Falcon doing dope Falcon superhero shit?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't ever have to have that conversation. I do think that conversation is important, but we are more than just one thing as a people. It's like me saying the only Asian narrative I'm ever going to recognize as worthy is if it's some type of martial arts film.
Right.
You are more than just martial arts. You are more as a people than that. Yeah. And people seem to get upset when you're like, well, how come you don't have to address this? It doesn't have to be addressed. Anytime there's a Black character, it doesn't always have to be addressed.
Right.
I just want people to realize that we are more than just that one note. Right. Come from a beautiful people that do a lot of beautiful things. You come from a beautiful people that do a lot of beautiful things. And it's insulting to always and only be restricted to one thing.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Chuck wants me to watch Warrior.
Warrior's good, but then it kind of, I know, as soon as I get on that diatribe, I'm like, ooh, Warrior's really good though.
Yeah, he wants me to watch Warrior and do a podcast with him on it. I'm like, all right, man. So off of the conversation that you were just igniting there, Amira Muhammad comes in saying, I think we need to differentiate between Black and POC because the experiences are not the same across the board. I don't want, and so, I mean, I get that. I mean, and Syntell, you know, I get that. Like, I know that my experiences are different than your experiences. We've experienced different kinds of racism, and I'd imagine that, just a guess, you've experienced it more than I have. But, like, I have experienced it. And so, like, when I comment on it and I comment on narrative and story, I do feel like I have some experiences to draw upon in making my assessment of something. And at the end of the day, it's like, this is just my stupid opinion. You know, I'm just a dude on a couch. So, you know. And then Amira Muhammad also says, I don't watch slave movies. It's trauma porn, but I wouldn't compare 3 scenes in Falcon to that.
Fair point.
Yeah, obviously, not that. I see what you're saying, but I'm talking about the whole general thing.
Yeah, I get both sides.
It's like, I know me and Jaby, we joke about the pain Olympics.
Exactly.
You know, it's like this trauma thing that you always have to speak on, and it's just exhausting.
Yeah,
it is. I know it's necessary, but it could just be tiring.
Right.
You know, like, why can't we have people of color just do dope shit?
I remember being on the phone with you once, and I floated this idea of a movie about a slave your way, and you're like, dude, I'm fucking tired of slave movies. I want to see Black people kicking ass. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I didn't even think about it like that. That's a great point. Akash Janasakar says, it wasn't Hela, it was the Mistress Death. Did I read that already? And in comics, Hela is actually Loki's love interest. MCU doesn't follow the comics to the T, but I'm not mad about it, to be honest.
Oh, but then
we're
he
coming
corrected.
full circle for the Thanos thing, right? For Thanos' love interest in death.
Yeah.
He corrected. Go ahead.
Is that what we're talking about?
Go ahead.
Oh, but I just want to add, Akash then corrected and said, "Oops, my bad. Hela wasn't Loki's love interest. She was his daughter. My bad."
It could still be a love interest.
Dang.
Could have been Oedipus Rex.
What the heck are they doing up there in? I was gonna say Midgard. It's not Midgard though. It's wherever the gods live in Norse mythology. But like, it's super incestuous. It seems.
Valhalla.
Valhalla is what happens when the final fight.
So hold up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
DT Patil says trauma porn isn't a fair word. There are people who like those kind of movies. I think that DT, it's specific to the people that it's representing. I think is the point that what's her name? Amira, is that her name?
Amira, yeah.
Was trying to make. It's like, I get it. It is, to me, it is trauma porn. So I remember you and Courtney watched that movie, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
And you saw people around you crying, and you're just like, really? Like, y'all didn't know?
yeah. I mean,
but I mean, I think that's kind of what it speaks to with those scenes, and like, I suppose for me as someone who that isn't my daily experience, to be able to see characters and go through that story and kind of be able to empathize. I mean, that's the amazing thing about watching content, is like, you're able to put yourselves in the character's shoes, and then you can be like, oh wow, like, I wasn't aware that the depth of that feeling, and I guess those types of films are more for maybe other people to kind of be like, you didn't know that this was happening, you didn't know that this was the experience, and now you felt it, so go out there and do something about it, or care more. I don't know, that's just what I think.
Okay, so then we got a super chat from Abhishek Verma. He says, it feels same as an Indian. It seems almost always India is represented as dusty streets with poor people in Western media. Just irritating now. Yeah.
And I can understand that fatigue. I get that.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Aditi Patil asked earlier, why did they not continue Daredevil and Punisher?
Do we know?
Well, I hear they are, right? Like, okay, so Marvel just bought the rights from Netflix for the TV series, and they said that they definitely said they're going to do something with Daredevil. I think they said they're going to do something with Punisher, but I think they may shelve. Oh my gosh, I just sat there and talking about.
Good night, Rhea. Just saying that because she says she's going to bed.
The Bulletproof dude. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. God, I'm so embarrassed right now.
The Bulletproof dude?
Not Black Dynamite.
Oh no, Luke Cage.
I threw that from the other room.
Luke Cage. I don't think they're going to continue Luke Cage.
How'd you get to Black Dynamite?
I
love that movie. I love that movie so much.
So yeah. So I think we're definitely going to see Daredevil and Punisher again.
Luke Cage. Yeah, that's right. Luke Cage.
And I think what's her name?
I always forget his name
Luke Cage's love interest. She had her own show.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely gonna bring Jessica Jones back. I mean, you almost have to bring Jessica Jones back because it's a hot topic. It's women's rights liberation, women's superheroes.
Sure.
It's almost a gimme.
Luke Cage. I always forget his name, just like you did. I always forget his name for some reason. It always like falls out of my head. I'm like, oh no,
that guy.
I like season 1 of Luke Cage a lot. Did you enjoy season 2?
I was blown away by season 1. It was super dope. I loved it. And then season 2 just didn't have the same magic.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I felt as well.
It was like lightning in a bottle for season 1.
Potato Stuff Super Chat. He says, I'm still waiting for Silver Surfer and Galactus to show up in MCU. The space battles, the cosmic world they would bring. They got so much potential.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, are we ready for the galactic? Like, we had a really good romp with Guardians of the Galaxy, really touching onto the galactic world of Marvel. I mean, are we ready to jump 2 feet in and do Silver Surfer? And then, because that's kind of like Fantastic Four, right? Because they're the segue in between galactic and stuff that goes on Earth.
That's true. I mean, I'll watch anything that they throw at me, so I'm cool with that.
Let's see. Julian T in the comments says, think about it. If movies always showed the best side of a person's culture, the studios would get reamed for misrepresenting the realities of their world.
I guess it's just balance, right? It's like we're just asking for some balance in storytelling. perhaps.
But the thing about it is, I don't think they've shown the positive side of the culture very often. You know, I think with Black Panther, you got to see a fictional version of the cool side of Black culture. Right? Is that accurate?
That's an interesting way to say that. I know where you're going for, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there is no fiction to a cool side of Black culture. It's just fucking cool.
Yeah,
but you had to take it to a fictional place in order for people to accept it, I guess.
No, but it's because it's Wakanda. Like, that's not a real place. You know?
Yeah, I'm giving you shit.
Yeah,
I'm giving you shit.
But so that's all I'm trying to say. So God damn it.
I know, man. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm just fucking with you.
This is why you need Trey, because he
Syntell. His name is Syntell.
Oh, sorry, Syntell. Like you. The thing is, I think this is the thing. Like, Jaby will say stuff like that, and then I get it, but I assume that everyone else listening also gets it, but it comes out kind of wrong, and then everybody like jumps down his throat and is like, what are you talking about? The culture. The culture's great.
Yeah.
The culture is fantastic.
Yeah.
Love the culture.
But there is something to be said that you had to create a mythical place in order for that story to be told, which is a little. It's a little sad that you had to kind of do that, but hey, you know, it still got done.
Right.
You know, the ends justified the means.
Right. Sure. But so I'm like, my mind is going 8 different directions.
Yo, that was the most dismissive shit. Yo, don't tell me what's on your mind, man. Where you feeling?
It's because the thing about it is, okay, it's going 8 different directions because like Wakanda, I think the idea with Wakanda is kind of like Raya in The Last Dragon. It's the similar idea.
Place.
Yeah.
The idea being, instead of going like, okay, well, which African tribe? You just go, all right, just generally speaking, African tribe. You know, Raya and the Last Dragon, just generally speaking,
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asians.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have any Southeast Asians in the voice acting. See, just generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? You know,
stay on target.
Yeah.
Stay on target.
Exactly. So that's all. So that's why, you know, that's why it's, in my opinion, that's why they went the fictional route. To what Julian T is saying, I think that would be the only instance I can think of where you had positive representation in the MCU of Black culture. Right? We haven't even gotten Asian culture yet. So
it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
So, but I get what Julian T is saying, I think. Right. I mean, anyway, people are laughing at how uncomfortable I got. It's just because.
No, but it's fun to get you uncomfortable.
It's just after. Okay, so Zarek Anthony is jumping down my throat now. He says, Jaby, you're not some random, you're a person of color with a megaphone, so don't stop expressing your opinion. Don't always agree, but your opinions have value. Oh, he's not jumping down my throat. I thought he was. I preemptively got scared. All 3 scenes, all 3 scenes were in Baltimore. Great place to explore racial tension. I agree with that.
True.
Yeah.
I see. The thing about it is, it's the latter 2 scenes I liked a lot. I liked seeing the Black Captain America because it like really made you think. You're like, whoa, like this whole other thing was going on. And then you see Anthony Mackie's response. He was like, how could you never fucking tell me about this shit? And then he gets pulled over by
told Steve either.
Right. Yeah. And then he gets pulled over by the cops right after that because they're having that conflict, which it just totally felt real.
Yeah.
Like I can see that happening in real life. Like you have an altercation happening between a black dude and a white guy, and then the cops show up. Like, what's going on here?
Excuse me, is this man bothering you?
So
right. I got the other way around.
And then it's like, and then it turns out that it's the white guy who's got a warrant out for his arrest.
Right.
But like the thing about it is, I got shit because I got nitpicky. That's it. I got a little nitpicky. I'm like, could they not have had that scene like a little earlier or later or somewhere else? It's just like it's right there.
So the thing is, like, we nitpick a lot, right? But what are the things that you really liked? What are you really enjoying?
I've been saying it. I like how layered this show is because it's like it's got all these different subplots going on, which is it's hard enough to get one good subplot in there. And I know that you're not on board with all the subplots, Syntell, but I like all the subplots they have going on, which is like the relationship with his sister. What's going on there? The relationship Winter Soldier has with himself, dealing with his past and figuring who he is. Reclaiming the mantle of Captain America, reclaiming the shield. Like that's another subplot because the overarching story isn't all that. The overarching story is the bad guys. getting the blippers. What are they called? The flaggers, the flag
the
burners,
flag smashers.
the flag smashers. So it's not a very memorable name in my opinion, but hey, don't roast me on that one. But that's the goal in the show, right? Is taking down the villains. That's the overarching thing. Meanwhile, you have all these different subplots going on, which if they're able to weave it beautifully by the end, I think is dope. That's what's got me excited. Like, I'm not big on exploring too much of knockoff Captain America anymore. I don't want to see any more, Star Spangled Banner shit with him. Any more parades for him. I'm just like, I don't like the guy. Can we just stick to the two guys that we're in love with here? That's all. So,
yeah.
And I like the relationship that could come from them. I like the setup is fun. Like the commercial hooked me. I'm excited for their banter.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit confused about like how they're going about it. It just feels a little bit clunky, but I'm still excited. I'm still invested. So I'm still happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we're getting this show. And I'm happy they're exploring real world topics like the scene at the bank. I thought that was great. It's like, when would you ever see this in a comic book thing? In a comic book show, adaptation, in a movie. Like, this would never, this is the kind of thing where you have that white exec going, this has got to go, You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little uncomfortable here.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that they have that in there. I think it's cool. I liked, even though I was confused about the guy's ethnicity, I like that, you got Bucky in the previous episode who's like, he made friends with this guy because he killed the guy's kid.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And he's trying to figure out how to confess, which hopefully it comes back. Because, like, he knows if he confesses, he loses this friend, and he's going to devastate this dude. Like, it's almost better that he never says anything. I think that if we're talking about real life, I think Bucky should never say anything. But in the show, I think he's going to say something.
But he has to redeem himself.
I think he is, though. He's friends with the guy.
But you got to, they say the mountain is the path, the mountain is the way, and that is his mountain. In order for him to find his true self, he has to face that.
Yeah.
Even if it means losing that, even if it means losing that friendship.
We have been over this. The truth does not set you free. Like, he doesn't need to tell the truth.
I agree. I'm talking about in Hollywood storytelling.
Yeah.
That is what's going on.
Yeah.
In Hollywood storytelling, the reality, there's some caveats to truth, to full blown truth. There's always, because there's consequences for that.
Right.
And you have to be willing to accept those consequences for,
right,
doing the right thing.
Right.
Doing the right thing has a cost.
Julian T says, this has been the most engaging, diverse, and interesting live chat I've been part of. I love that each topic is given time amongst you three for proper examination.
Thanks, Julian, and thanks for being so insightful with your comments and questions as well. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. What is Winter Soldier's name in the show? White Powerpuff?
White Wolf?
White Wolf, thank you.
Is that his name? Well, that's what the Wakandans called him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what it was.
But
so
he's Bucky Barnes, isn't he? James?
Amira's coming after me. She says Bucky telling the truth would only help him. It would devastate his friend.
That's true.
Oh, actually, she's not.
But
Well,
no,
is she coming after me? She's actually on my side about it. Okay.
But see, that's
once again preemptively scared. So
my man got the claws out.
I'm like a cat in the corner.
Amira's just having a conversation, okay? But like, I think that's the thing. Like, you often have to ask yourself in those situations. It's like, is the truth helping me, or is it helping the other person? And I think oftentimes when we're telling the truth, it's because our guilt is crushing us.
Yeah.
Well, there's that theory that there's no such thing as a selfless act, right? There's a theory about that.
Oh, is there?
There's nothing that you can do that's not selfless in some.
That's not selfish.
That's not selfish. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Everything you do has a selfish undertone to it. So yeah, even though you're freeing yourself from the guilt and all that other stuff, which you're doing this horrible thing so that you could feel better in the end of the day still.
Exactly.
So
potato stuff. So hypothetically, what would be your reaction if at one point Walker turns out evil and says, "Hail Hydra"? That'll bring chills.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean,
yeah, I'm at the point now where I don't even know if I'm surprised either, because I can kind of see that happening, right?
Well, I mean, a lot of people who read the comics are like, well, no, because he is. We'll find out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's interesting, like, just in their casting and all, and the way he's been portrayed, because that was the thing that I was having trouble with during the episode, was I was like, I feel so much negativity towards this character, and he hasn't done anything yet. But there's just something about him and the way he's talking and acting and behaving, whatever. I'm like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, but if they
His
don't
weird-
have
weird
it,
chin.
if they don't have it, if they don't have it go that man can't do anything about it.
I
He's got
know.
he's got the genes he's got, you know.
He's the Seven Kurt
weird
Russell
chin.
genes.
So,
Got
but
evil chin.
if they don't go that direction, then it's almost like people are gonna be mad, almost like Mandarin Orange. What's his name?
Huh?
Iron Man. What's his name?
The Mandalorian?
No, Mandarin. Isn't his name the Mandarin?
Who are you talking about?
In Iron Man.
Oh, you're talking about the
Okay.
why is my
Mandarin
brain doing
Orange.
me wrong?
What's the name of that actor? He's half Indian.
Yeah.
Sir Ben Kingsley.
Oh, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played Mandarin Oranges. Right? That's the guy's name.
Yeah, but he wasn't even like the real Mandarin. He was, like,
but his name
something
is
else.
Mandarin.
Yeah.
I'm just trolling when I say Mandarin Oranges.
Ben Kingsley, yeah,
You
that's
know.
it.
A lot of people felt that character got
Wait,
shafted.
I just learned something new. So he is of Indian descent?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
half
half
Indian.
Okay.
Indian, yeah.
I learned something new. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
I feel like he got shafted a little bit with that character, but it's all good.
I don't even.
Let's see. Okay, here it is. Rakesh Hari says, if Bucky tells the guy he killed his son, it does give him a sense of closure, but at what cost? Bucky has to face consequences for terrible things he has done, but when brainwashed.
Yeah. But it's like, you tell that to a man who's grieving, he's going to have a hard time kind of empathizing with, yeah, but I was brainwashed to do it. Like, I wouldn't have killed your son
Nobody
otherwise.
wanna
Like,
hear that.
I don't care. You killed my son.
Well, maybe your son was an asshole.
Dude, the
Nobody's
best
trying to hear that though.
the best moment like that was in Captain America Civil War, when you see Tony Stark just lose it. And after realizing that Winter Soldier killed his parents,
Yeah.
it just like that face.
Yeah.
That, like Robert Downey Jr. did that so fucking well. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I feel so scared right now for everybody. You know?
Unforgivable.
That was crazy. And, well, eventually they learned how to fight side by side.
Yeah.
All right, so in the chat here, in the comments here, so Zarek Anthony has been very present in the comments and in the chat. He replied to me here because I was being defensive.
Eric Anthony is the dude.
MM first off says, "Oh my God, this reaction is rough, Jaby." I mean, you saw the reaction, and then I said, "Sorry, we'll try to be less disagreeable next time." And then Zarek Anthony goes, "You're being way overly defensive, bro. Sure, some peeps are attacking you, but the far majority are just disagreeing and sharing their own experiences, takes. You're accusing others of not being tolerant of other opinions, and your snarky comments are showing you aren't that tolerant."
How do you feel about that, Jaby?
Yes, Jaby. How do you feel?
I don't know. I'm fine.
Share the love. Approach with love and hugs. That's why I always like
Yellow dragons just chilling in the corner over here, you know.
But honestly, like the way I look at it is, you know, whenever people correct me, and I you know, I'm the first to admit that I don't know a lot about things, and especially not about the MCU or whatever. But I'm just like, thanks for the knowledge. Like, you know, I didn't know that before. So thank you. Thank you for correcting me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Julian T came in hard
Wow.
with a very generous super chat.
Thank you very much, Julia.
Thank you, Julian T.
Very, very kind of you.
Get Jaby to like marching bands.
That's never.
I will cheer for all marching bands going forward.
I
That'll
think
never
that was
happen.
an HBCU band. I think that was a historically black college band.
Oh,
It
really?
sounds like it because before they even showed the face, I was watching it. I was watching with my significant other, and we was just in there just bopping. We was like, "Yo, that's an HBCU band. That's like it's." We was sitting there, and then they showed the people, and I was like, "Oh snap! Yes!" I was like, "You can smell. You
Do you
can
know what
tell
that
it.
is?
You can smell it."
I don't know what it is, but as someone who, you know, didn't grow up in America and didn't have that culture, like, it's always so amazing and fascinating to me when I see how you guys approach, like sports events and stuff. And it's like, it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And like there's cheerleaders and there's a marching band, and it's just so cool. Like, I don't know. I think it's so awesome.
Well, there's some shit I don't even know about. Like, Syntell took me to my first football game, and there was like military jets. Flying over the stadium. I'm
like, the B-2 bomber was going over
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And you just looked at me with that smile, like looking at a kid, discovering candy for the first time. I was like, what?
No,
welcome to the show.
Yeah. We got bagels too, by the way, in America. Bagels are pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, bagels are awesome. I literally know that face was me going,
no,
you bought bagels?
No, I didn't.
For after the stream?
I'm just saying.
Are we so lucky?
I never saw bagels in
bagels?
England. Dummy test. I like how Bucky was so menacing in Winter Soldier, and in TV show now he's more mellowed out. I want him to be more menacing once again. I mean, he'll get there.
He'll get there.
You got to give him time.
I think so too. I think he's gonna lose it.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but you can kind of see it a little bit. He's gonna snap because they keep mentioning, his psychiatrist keeps mentioning.
He's gonna snap.
What are the rules? It's like, what are the rules?
Yeah.
We don't hurt anybody. We don't kill anybody. And this is.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Syntell.
I thought it was our thing for a sec. I thought our thing froze up. That's just Syntell's.
Oh no, what's wrong?
You
You just like froze.
You froze for a moment.
And then you came back.
I thought it was OBS crashing on us again.
Okay. I'm still with you.
Yeah, you were talking about the rules, and then it just cut out.
Yeah. They're not gonna set Hollywood rules. You're not gonna set all that up to not break them.
It's true.
Well, they call it Chekhov's gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Niraj Vashishta. I mean, the one I remember the most for that example, I think, was The Rock, when he did, it was supposed to be called Hell Dorado, but they changed the name of the movie to The Rundown. And in the movie The Rundown, he's like, I don't touch guns. It's just my thing. I don't touch. I can't do guns. And by the end of the movie, he's getting all the guns and shooting everything up. yeah. You know what I'm saying? Niraj Vashishta says, Civil War, most people don't empathize with Tony in that fight, saying Bucky was mind controlled. Breaks my heart for Tony, though, even though I would go for the kill.
Even I would
have gone for the jugular.
I'm not trying to hear that. I don't care about your mind control. You're going to get these hands.
Would it be realistic? All in the Game asks, would it be realistic if... Oh, shit, where'd it go? He asked a good question, too.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Here it is. Would it be realistic if Falcon became Cap and his race as a black man in America literally never came up? Probably not, but also in real life, there's no, like, flying people and wizards and, magic. Yeah. It's just like, maybe with that we can magic that, too. I don't know. So I go both ways. I'm like... Right. I like that it's come up, but I also would have been cool with it not coming up,
Right.
It's just cool that he's Captain America, because I was actually excited to see. I love Anthony Mackie, so anything with him, I'm excited to see. Yeah. Even when he's kissing another dude in Black Mirror, I'm like, I love Anthony Mackie.
I never saw that episode, but I heard it was good. It was good though.
It was very conflicting. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this shit.
It's like, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it gets really weird. But that's the point, I guess. Rakesh Hari says Bucky says he just wants peace, and he says that he only got that at Wakanda, and otherwise he's been going from fight to fight. This series should end with him retiring and at peace. So he's gonna end up at Wakanda's
retirement home for superheroes.
White puffball.
White wolf.
White wolf.
The white wolf.
I can't remember the word wolf for some reason.
White panther.
White. No, that would be too much. White wolf. Amar Rassam says, which is your favorite Marvel movie and favorite character? I think my favorite Marvel movie is probably Doctor Strange. I know that's not a popular choice, but Doctor Strange, I just love visually.
It looked great.
Yeah, just visually was so stunning. It was
a good fun a good fun romp.
It's one of those for me, it's one of those movies where it's like you look back over the course of cinematic history and it's like that just stands out as something that's just new. Like you go back and watch Star Trek, the motion picture, the original motion picture. That movie's boring as hell. But at the time, it was mind-blowing. It was like, you never saw this before. And I think that Doctor Strange is one of those films for me. The Matrix, even though I don't like the movie as much as everybody else, 300. It's like that stands out as like a film that just was a marking point in cinematic history. And I feel like Doctor Strange is kind of like that too, because I'd never seen anything like that, you know? And so that's why it's probably my favorite Marvel film. What were you going to say?
Oh, my favorite is Enter the Spider-Verse. Even though I know it's not connected to the MCU.
Oh yeah.
It's still a Marvel film.
I guess that kind of, would you consider that as touching on black culture?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Okay.
And in a great way, because it's
Yeah.
not forced down your throat. He's just existing as a biracial, black, half Cuban person in this world, and you just get introduced to the culture because he's living his life. It's not forced.
Right.
You know, I loved that. That to me is how you tell the story of somebody of color, or you just tell somebody's story, period. They just live their life and you just become a part of it. It's not, well, we have to hit this particular note because this is the hot topic of the day.
Yeah.
It ain't that.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, he's just walking down the street and with his J's, with the laces out, you know, giving people dab. Yo, what's up? The relationship he has with his uncle, he's spray painting and doing his art and all that. He's just living his life.
Yeah.
That is how you do and how you show and tell a culture.
Abhishek Ankur says Chadwick is still in our memory, but if a new actor needs to be casted, who should it be? I can't. I throw my I throw my hat in for Syntell as the Black Panther who's just like on the couch like playing video games and shit. Like, oh, what? I gotta get in shape.
We have never seen a beer gut like that before.
Yeah, exactly.
You have been slipping on your. You have been slipping on your training.
Exactly. You put the outfit on. It's like, what's that movie with that comedian? Is it Robin Shaw? The guy who played Liu Kang was in the Beverly Hills Ninja with the comedian who died. I forgot his name. He was in Black Sheep. You don't remember his name?
No.
I can't remember his name now.
Don't know.
Hold on. Let me. Somebody caught me, and I want to make this very clear. He's not half Cuban. Miles Morales. He's half Puerto Rican. And that is very important.
That is important.
Big mess up.
They're all the same, huh?
Yeah, I was just on a roll. Yeah, I was just on a roll. I'm like, yeah, we get to see this, and I messed that up. That was a big mess up, and I apologize for anybody I offended on that.
Did you ever see the Sam Jackson news clip from Channel 5 News when the guy, the reporter, mistook him for Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah. He's all looking like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Dummy Test says, in Civil War, Captain said he was brainwashed, and after that, Iron Man, I don't care, he killed my mom. The emotion behind that was very powerful.
Yeah.
It was powerful.
I felt that. I don't care. I don't care about that. Yo, you killed my mom.
Yeah. I mean,
Come get these hands.
talking about favorites, Civil War is definitely up there for me. I love that one. Yeah.
Hitmaniac's defending us because someone named YT Danish says you mentioned is boring and you can leave any time. Yeah, it's so interesting when people comment on the chat and go, "This is boring." It's like, well,
you don't have to be
you
here.
can bounce.
We're having fun.
It's like Command W or Control W on the keyboard. It's like you out. Never have to see it again. You know.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Exactly. Ankit Kumar says, I think Bucky will be menacing in the end because in Civil War, when he was fighting with Tony asked him, "Do you remember that night?" And Bucky said, "I remember all of them." That's got to be rough. Like, like as a character, I think that's such an interesting, like, psychological thing to explore for that character because, like, it wasn't him, but it's him.
Yeah.
And so he remembers both versions of history. Well, that's my brain's going somewhere else. He just remembers that, but it's like even though it wasn't him, he knows he did it.
Yeah, like you have no
know?
control over what you did, but you did those things. It's like who am I? How? What? It's a lot.
Isaiah Bradley, the strong old dude Bucky introduces to Sam, was kind of secretly Captain America before Steve Rogers. They just didn't advertise him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would have
rough.
to take your word for that because I don't know the story behind Black Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. But based off of the information that has been given to us in episode 2, he was done wrong, regardless of if he had the mantle or not.
I just want to shout out Julian T again, man. That was very, very kind of him. Like, that was very, very kind of him to donate such a generous super chat. You're keeping this ad free, my friend. Because I say it to I say it in every single one. Like, if you're super chatting, that means I don't have to put up ads,
Right.
because something's got to cover the cost of this live stream. John Walker's a perfect soldier. We don't need a perfect soldier, but a good man. Falcon. By the way, Zemo fight expose John's evil side, and people may lose faith in superheroes. Mastermind Zemo. That's from Sarab Underkar.
Yeah, I mean, good point. I'll be interested to see how they use Zemo, like, going forward. I mean, I was super happy when I saw him in the trailers, because like I like Daniel Bruhl just as an actor, and so I'm like, yay, he's back. Cool.
Where do you think the story's going to go? We keep been talking around it. Where do you think the story's going to go with Black Captain America? The guy, the older gentleman that was
Isaiah.
Yeah.
I think the atrocities are going to get exposed. Falcon will grow and realize that he owes it to people like him that went through these atrocities to be worthy for the mantle, even though he's already worthy. I think that's the thing that's really bothering me about this, is that he's already worthy. And we have to go through this. We have to jump through all these hoops of him trying to reconvince himself of that. And it just seems pointless to me. But I think that's going to be like one of the many things that's going to push him to be like, I have to do this, if not for myself, then for the people that have already sacrificed to make this mantle possible.
Right.
That's it. You think that character's going to come back?
No, I doubt it. He'll probably die. They'll probably kill him off.
Really?
Yeah, they'll probably either kill him off or something. Because he's already like an old, angry man. It's hard to kind of like change that, right? Like, you're set in your ways.
Dude, did you watch Nobody yet?
No, not yet.
After watching,
I'm trying to go through the proper channels. What format is that on?
This is a pseudo, sorta, tiny bit spoiler. Not
okay,
really.
But the movie's out now.
The movie's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I want to say is, after watching that, I would love to see the old Black Captain America come back and do some damage.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how, but like, I just love to see something. He's got power still. He threw that thing into the wall.
There's like a Hollywood rule. You can't have like two powerful black people in the same space at the same time.
Yeah, I guess so.
It makes people's brains break.
I mean,
there can be only one.
I mean, we had
Black Panther.
We had Black Panther and
yeah, that's an anomaly film. That's why it was so great.
No, but we had Black Panther and Falcon on the same battlefield in Endgame.
That's true.
Kinda.
And in Infinity War.
I'm hopeful.
That's true.
I'm hopeful.
It was kind of weird that they killed both of them off in Infinity War. Like, that Thanos snap just happened to snap out two black characters. That was kind of fucked up.
I can't imagine a space where what would the MCU do with him if they just kept him alive? Like, maybe, I don't know. You know what? Maybe so. Maybe if he took the role of kind of like a sensei per se. Somebody that.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's lived a life, right?
Yeah.
With these powers, so maybe he can like coach him up since Rogers isn't there anymore, and properly show him how to.
It'll be like Cobra Kai.
Yeah, maybe that would be nice. That would be nice. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I hope I'm wrong.
No, but I'd love to see him do something, just anything, and he could die on the battlefield. But whatever, like I'd love to see something just for a moment. I hope it's not just thrown away like that. Because he's still powerful. He still has something to offer.
Right.
Is what it looks like,
Yeah. Well, outside of just his strength, all the stuff that's in his head, he's lived a life.
Zarek Anthony, you're kind. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's okay that you called me sensitive. Since I've been
he is.
Since I've been so active in chat and messages, let me also support me with my wallet. I go both ways. I'm sensitive on both ends of the stick, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I'm sensitive in terms of emotions. I'm sensitive in terms of I don't know.
Don't come at me, little yellow dragon.
Don't hurt my
corner.
feelings.
Row, row, row.
Niraj Vashishta says Black Cap. He was not before Steve.
Okay.
He was after him as he fought in Korea War. Steve was in World War II, Civil War. Tony was not angry about his father.
Well, Tony had a complicated relationship with his father as well. Right. So I guess that's kind of understandable. But I think there's just always something. It's like, you hurt my mom, though. My mom.
Yeah, it's something about your mama, right?
Yeah.
Your mama.
Yeah, she birthed you. You know what I mean?
Dummy test. I don't know if I read this already. A couple people were saying this, I think. Oh, great. Just vanished. Hold on. Give me a second here.
About the 300
Yeah, the
black
300.
soldiers.
Yeah, 300 black soldiers. The Black
Yeah.
Captain America was the only survived member of 300 black people that were experimented on for Captain America serum. After that, he defied order, and then they jailed him.
Oh,
Oh.
gotcha.
But just because he fought in
Now
Korean War
that's
doesn't
interesting.
it doesn't mean there's no overlap in their history. Just because he fought in the Korean War.
Well, Steve was still in the ice by then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Steve was still in the ice.
I mean, the thing is, supposedly the serum makes you like. Does it make you live longer as well, or you just?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Does it? I thought, yeah, because one of the questions in the chat I saw come up was like, okay, if Isaiah also had the serum, then why is he old? I didn't think that the serum like helped you live longer, because like Captain America and Bucky, weren't they put on ice a whole bunch of times, like, and so that's why their lifespan is longer, because it was just paused.
I don't know. I mean, just because Captain.
Well, that's definitely the case for Cap, but I don't know about Bucky.
Just because he got. Oh yeah, that's
true
right.
that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is me. I'm the noobest of
Someone
the noobs
explain
here.
that actually. Can someone in the chat? Someone, a fan. What was I calling it? A fan eligibility.
A card
Because-
carrying Marvel
Yeah.
MCU super fan.
Yeah. Can someone
Yes.
explain like why Bucky's young and why Captain America got old?
Well, because
Well, I
Captain
do know.
America
I
lived
do
to
know in
fight
the
him.
Wolverine origin story, they revealed that the same Weapon X program that they put when they injected Wolverine with it is a variation of the super soldier serum.
Someone
And-
says Bucky was frozen by Hydra.
Right.
Ah,
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Bucky was frozen.
Huh.
Bucky was frozen and freed for assassination for 2 to 3 days.
Right.
Bucky was constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, he was constantly in cryo.
Yeah. So he only really came out and started living his life again after they found him. Right.
That's not good for your heart. Niraj Vashishta.
You're just thinking about the health implications. Like, I don't know about that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not good for your cholesterol.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually wrong.
Niraj Vashishta says serum doesn't help you live longer. Bucky was getting frozen every time. Cap aged normally when he lived out his life in different timeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we stand corrected.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
There-
just get strength. That's it.
Exactly.
That's pretty good.
All right. I gotta pee and eat a donut. So y'all thanks so much for
I need some coffee.
yeah, y'all thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thank
and
you.
so look forward to a conversation on the next episode next Saturday.
Is this going to be a weekly thing?
I hope so. I'd love to
Okay.
do it. And
Yeah, man,
yeah,
this is
it's
fun.
fun for me. And so y'all thanks so much for hanging out, and hopefully you enjoyed that. And a big shout out to Julian T and to Niraj Vashishta for your super chats, man. So thankful. Very, very, very thankful. And yeah, we're going to conclude it here. Yeah, I'll be good. Peace out.